Hello, my friends in film fandom, my friends in the world. Today, we're not just talking about movies and entertainment. Today, we're talking about all kinds of stuff. There will be hopefully Tex will be out here to join me after a while. Maybe some other people. Casey to talk about simulcasting, which I don't know. I don't know I don't know what he's doing. He's probably video games and talking about wrestling and shit. Not really what I'm in the middle of talking about tonight. But I did want to come on and make up a little bit for the not being able to go live on Tuesday thing. My mistake. My mistake. Got caught at work. So did Tex. And Jeremy doing reviews on his own. He likes doing it on his own as much as I do. It's just not that fun. But yeah, we're going to hang out for a little bit tonight. Some people may come through. We'll see what's going on. There's Dr. Nick right there watching Ballerina. Much love. Much love to you, my friend. Much love. If you feel like you want to come on later, let me know. I don't really know how long I'll be going tonight. It may just be an hour or so. It may just be maybe 2 or 3 hours if we get some people to show up and the conversation gets going. But I just want to come hang out a little bit. Northern DC saying, looking forward to this. You're one of the most grounded people I've been on this platform. Genuinely interested in your thoughts on all this. Well, there's thoughts. I've had a couple of days to not be so angry, so reactionary, so whatever. And but being able to look at it a bit more objectively as the initial shock has wore off of the Charlie Kirk assassination. It hasn't changed my mind a whole lot. I just feel a little bit more confident in my point of view and my thoughts. But that's a different story. We'll get to that at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, it's been a crazy last week or so, guys. I mean, honestly, look, sometimes the world gets so insane that you just don't know how to process it. You don't know how to understand it all. You don't know how to compartmentalize which piece of the cake to slice off and try to eat before having to kind of it's really hard to figure out how you're going to do it sometimes. I mean, 9/11 was one of those times. I was alive for that. I was in my adulthood already. I remember that. I know a lot of people remember back to like when Kennedy was killed, things like that. So it's sometimes when something this big happens, it can be hard to understand or adjust your feelings for. And I've been there the last couple of days. I was very aware earlier today as I was thinking on this that my shock and sadness and my intense confusion of the moment very quickly gave way to just pure anger. That's all I can say. It really got through to pure anger very, very quickly. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on right now, and I'll get to the big story now. There's plenty of stuff to talk about, but obviously the big thing that's happened the last few days was the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and I'm not going to avoid using some words because I don't give a shit about YouTube what they have to say. B, I'm never going to monetize anyway. I don't want YouTube's money. It's not really that much money to begin with. And I won't be censored by some conglomerate of assholes who want me to say certain things and not others to make me censor myself by threatening me with demonetization. YouTube can keep their damn money. So I'm going to use some of the words that they don't like us to use. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it was Tuesday night. I believe it was the night of the 10th. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was assassinated live in front of a bunch of people, in front of a bunch of cameras. It was not a random act of violence. It was an assassination. There was a person on a building across the way with a high-powered rifle and a scope, a ranged weapon, and pointed it at Charlie Kirk, pulling the trigger and killing him. Those are the bare bones facts of the situation, and it disgusts me to say the least. What's up, Rodrigo? If anybody this is kind of an open discussion. So if anybody wants to join tonight, feel free. I may as well try to put the link to the whole show in here. So that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and just put I'll put an invite in here and just kind of pin it so that way anybody who wants to join can join tonight. Just be a part of the discussion. That's the whole point. That's what Charlie Kirk was doing. He was having discussions. He was not insulting, and this is the perfect example of just because you disagree with somebody doesn't necessarily mean they're insulting you. I use the example all the time of Tex being a Cowboys fan and me being a 49er fan. if Tech says the 49ers are the worst team alive and the Cowboys are the best team ever, I don't take that as hate speech. I don't want to shoot at him. I don't want to injure him. I don't want to somehow affect him. Negatively, I can argue facts with him. I could say records, stats, history, blah, blah, blah. We can make these comparisons, but hate speech it is not. And a lot of people think that if you disagree with someone, there's hate speech. It's just dumb. Yes, Nick, that's an invite. Like I said, I don't know how long I'll be going. I may not be going for very long at all. I may be going for a while. It depends on if anybody else pops in and wants to have a conversation. But that is the link if anybody wants to join in and hang out for a bit. I don't really have a set time. Got the house to myself for tonight. Didn't even bother closing my door for going live. So yeah, I mean, if there's good conversation to be had, then we will have it. But yeah, it's certainly a really crazy situation. I mean, for those of you, I mean, I'll go to. Actually, I'm not going to share this right now. Let me go to Twitter instead. I'll share Twitter and show you some of the things that are being said, that are being done. Make sure there's no volume that shows on that page. There's my current Twitter feed that I believe you guys are seeing. Yes, it is. I'll minimize that, and that was up. But I don't know. Let's see what's happening. Well, we're starting to get back to more content about not Charlie Kirk related things, but The Witcher, Warner Brother. I don't know if you guys heard. It's a story. Maybe we'll talk about it eventually. Warner Brothers Discovery is being bought by Paramount. That could have huge ramifications on a lot of things, especially the DCU and things like that. There's a big play for Ohio State. Apparently, I'm not watching the game today because I didn't feel like watching football. But I don't think Ohio State's gonna have much of a problem with Ohio University, as you can tell right there. They just scored again, so yeah, I'm not worried about that. But there's a Charlie Kirk's wife. That I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch her statement that she made yesterday or last night, but it was something. I couldn't imagine being in her position where I was there watching my spouse just sit and talk in a microphone, and then all hell breaks loose immediately. It's insane, to say the least. And yes, I'm drinking right from the 2-liter bottle tonight because, it's not a real show. I'm just hanging out. Let's see. Yeah, just 20 minutes, he said, is also for this movie. Hey, Dr. Nick, if you want to join in, there's plenty we can talk about. Tex might be along at some point. Yeah, I know he had plans tonight. Jeremy will not be here, neither will Rachel. They are the officially kicking off the Haunted Cave season at Lewisburg Haunted Cave. If you are in the Lewisburg, Ohio area, go check out the Lewisburg Haunted Cave. Hang out with that crew down there. I will be going down there at some point this next couple of weeks with at least one of my sons. One of my sons is actually out of state right now, but yeah, well, I'll definitely have maybe not a whole lot of pictures, but I'll go through there and maybe do a quick little vlog before and after, because I haven't been to one of those things probably since I was in high school. I just haven't cared. But I'll go to my bookmarks real quick because there is some stuff in here that is something. I mean, we can talk about this chick right here. She I don't know if it'll play the sound for you guys. You see this? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that or not, because I just realized when I shared it, I was sharing it with muted. Okay, we'll go stop screen. And I'll go ahead and share it with tab audio. So if you weren't hearing it.
Murder is bad. She is evil. I've not said. Why are you being so hateful?
Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Yeah.
Hey, can somebody tell her to back up?
Can you not put the camera in my face?
I'm sitting here. You walked up to me.
Okay, well,
I don't want this. I said rest in peace.
And I can
just leave it alone. Please don't come.
Yeah, look at these people.
I want to be left alone.
I'm not emotional, ma'am. Don't tell me what I am
so
and what I'm not.
classless.
Get out of my face, because I can tell you what you are, but you won't like it.
You're being aggressive.
Okay, here's the thing: is she's not emotional. She's classless. She has zero fucking dignity. Look, I'll say it right now. Here's Here's the difference between people like me, logical people, moderate logical people on the moderate side of the political parties, moderate Democrat, moderate Republican. Here's the difference between us and the progressive side, and I'm gonna talk a lot about the progressive side tonight as I talk about this Charlie Kirk thing, because I've had time to formulate my thoughts and think about them as much as I can, really, and I'm gonna give them to you tonight. Now, the difference between us and the progressives and really everybody else, is this: when Jimmy Carter passed away, I went on Twitter and I put out there a tweet saying something to the effect of, politics aside, he worked, he worked, he was a good community person, a lot to charity, the foundations and building the house, Habitat for Humanity, all that. He did try his hardest to do what he thought was best for the country when he was president. Again, politics aside, and I summed it up by saying, thank you, Jimmy Carter, for serving your country. On to heaven you go. The difference between the progressives and literally everybody else at this point is that instead of having that kind of a reaction, they have reactions like this. I don't know. I don't know how to display this to them and make them see that there is a light and day, apples and oranges difference between the way you handle these things. There's I was not a big John McCain fan. I may have voted for him once, but I was kind of young and stupid then. But I was younger and dumber, probably dumber now. But I mean, but in retrospect, I went back and read more about him as a person. Some of his political stuff I didn't really agree with, but I don't agree with every Republican. I don't agree with everything Trump says and does. But I realized that he may not have been the coolest dude in the world. I mean, for those of you who read about his first wife, the one he was married to when he was in the POW camp in Vietnam, how he did her when he got back, it wasn't very classy. But knowing all those things, I even said, hey, whatever. You served your country in uniform. You served your country in war. You were a prisoner of war. You came home. You served your country in the political sense. You know what? All things being equal, thank you for your service. Thank you for all of your effort to help your country grow in a positive way. Go to God. Go to heaven. Have a good time. You deserve it. And again, and then we get these people, that react like this.
You're being aggressive.
I'm not being aggressive. My voice is very calm. You're calling me aggressive because I'm a black woman.
Not at all.
No, we're not. I'm very calm right now.
You bring racism.
Why are you?
Come on now.
Like, we're going. I just said I don't want to talk to you.
I just don't want. I don't want.
Good. Lock that bitch up. Give a fuck about her. I don't care at all. How can I? How can I care about these people? It's like they say that we have no empathy and then act like this. They say we have no empathy but criticize whenever we say thoughts and prayers after something traumatic and terrible happens to someone, because that's not empathetic enough. But this is empathy. Her going out there and just getting in this guy's face is empathy. I mean, I got a better idea. I'm not going to play this particular video because I couldn't stomach it. It's a bridge too far. This video right here that you're looking at, that Alex Jones posted on September 10th, the day that it happened. This is the view of what happened to Charlie Kirk, and it's not a good video. I'm not going to play it on here. I can't. I've only seen it once myself, and I can't bring myself to watch it again. But they say we have no empathy. I don't understand how they can say we have no empathy. We look at this. That's the Vice President of the United States carrying Charlie Kirk's casket to Air Force Two so he could fly him home to Arizona to be laid to rest whenever his funeral will be. That's dignity. That's integrity. And for those of you who will use the political leanings of anybody in this picture, J.D. Vance, Charlie Kirk, if you will bring their political points of view into this instead of, let me pause that again. If you would go with your political views over your empathy, then who's really the problem here? I don't know. Northern DC, there's no way I can handle being there. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's what would you have felt like if you were there in Dealey Plaza the day Kennedy was killed? What would you have felt? How would you feel? It's hard to imagine. The day is coming when people are going to stop turning the other cheek. You know what? Why'd you say that? I've been kind of wondering for a while now. And yes, it's triggering. I am, like I said earlier, I am very aware of how fast my shock and sadness and dismay about that incident turned into anger. I did not sleep very well that night because I was laying in bed angry. I wish I could say it's just because I saw something crazy, because something crazy had happened. This is one of the biggest things that's happened in a long time, news wise. But I was just angry. I was just angry, and and for a long time I've thought to myself, the best way to handle these things really is the Martin Luther King Jr. way of handling things: peaceful protest, kill them with kindness, show them the other cheek. Some would say, as Northern DC said earlier, turn the other cheek, they would say. But there's a difference between progressives and everybody else. Like another one, they will use that against you. They will use the fact that you want to walk away from the fight to hurt you. The fact that you don't want to be involved, they will use that against you somehow. So here's what I say: fuck them, let's fight. And I've been thinking this for a while. I've been struggling with how to quantify it, but I've been thinking this for a while. I watch a lot of Tim Pool. Very smart. I don't agree with him on everything. There's a lot of stuff he says I think is kind of foolish, but there's a lot of stuff that I agree with him on. And he was talking about when Hunter Biden was going through the stuff, gun charges, all his court things towards the end of Biden's administration, talking about all that. And he was saying that he hopes that Hunter Biden beats the gun rap for lying on the 4477 or whatever the thing is you fill out to get a gun, for lying on that, because it would be a big Second Amendment win. And I agree. Legally, that sounds right. That would be an interesting precedent to be set at the hands of a staunch anti-gun guy. It would be ironic. But my personal take was, why not gut him like a damn fish? Because that's exactly what they would do to one of us. My thought on it was, and if you're listening, Secret Service, I mean all this metaphorically, so don't come at me. Gut this guy neck to nuts. Hold him up on the south lawn of the White House with his entrails slithering out and say, "You want to play? Let's play." Drop his carcass and walk off. The Democrats will come after us in the most. I'm sorry. The progressives will come after us in the most vile, disgusting, inhuman, wretched ways. At some point, the only way to fight back is to give them a dose of their own medicine. And I've tried to not think like that. I've really, really tried to not think like that, because as I've gotten older, I've gotten more aware of the fact that it's not just about winning the fight, it's about winning the right fights. Don't get involved in fights where you don't have anything to win. Sure, every now and again you take a fight on principle, but don't pick fights where you can't really win anything. Yeah, I've been telling my sons this a lot lately, because all my kids are legal adults now. My oldest son is out of state doing some stuff for work right now. Big first adult thing he's ever done. My youngest son just turned 18. He's getting out in the world more, working, getting ready to finish school. And I've been telling them, it's like, you guys you're not children anymore. You can't use the outburst of emotion as an excuse to do dumb shit. You have to start looking at yourself and saying, is it worthwhile for me to engage in this kind of behavior, when even though I feel like I should stand up for something, there's not really much to stand up for. There's not really much to get out of this. There's not a win. So, and I've been talking to my boys about that, and I feel like I'm violating that to an extent. I feel like I'm going against that, because I want to try to find some peaceful outlet to this. I want to be able to do it the way that Charlie Kirk did it. I want to be able to sit down with people and say, here's a topic. You think like this. I think like this. Let's try to find some middle ground. We're not changing others' minds. Let's just find some middle ground. Let's find something we can agree on, so that we can see that we're both people who want the best for everybody. And what this guy did, I'm not even going to use his name. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but I mean, I can get it, but I'm not even going to use his name, because fuck this guy. I hope he dies alone and bleeding. But it's like, why should I want to do that anymore? Well, I'm struggling with that because I feel like, and I did not know Charlie Kirk personally or anything, so don't act as I don't mean to act as if I did, but I feel like if Charlie Kirk were here right now, he would tell me to keep fighting the good fight, to not fall into that line of thinking. But with my experience in this world in almost 50 years, with what I've seen the last 10, I don't know if there's another. I don't know what other option there is. I just don't. I don't understand like what Tim Pool and his guys talk about it all the time. Phil Labonte has said this a lot. Where's the off ramp from the road that we're on to something better? And I don't know that there is one now. I don't understand how we can break away from this, because every time something like this happens, it seems to get worse and worse and worse. And people will say, maybe this is the thing that will wake everybody up. Maybe this is the thing that will make people see that there's a different way to do things. And then some time goes by, we kind of get comfortable in life again. And next thing you know, somebody else is shot. Somebody else is beaten up. Someone else is stabbed in the subway. Something else happens to let us know that we're still on the same path. We're not doing anything to deviate from it other than just hope. And sometimes hope is not good enough. Sometimes action has to be taken, and sometimes the action that has to be taken is unpopular action. And I don't know, I don't want to think that we're there. I really don't. But I don't have any other options. I don't see any other options. I mean, if you guys have any other options, let me know. I don't know of any other options. I mean, is civil war what's needed? I mean, I don't want it to come to that. I'd hate to think in my lifetime we went from, 4th of July and all these holidays and hanging out on the beaches and having fun and going to movies and all this fun stuff to all of a sudden brothers are fighting brothers again. I don't want it to get to that in over the course of 50 years. 50 years is a long time, but not a long time. You know what I mean? I hate to think that in one half of a lifetime, it goes from relative happiness and peace and tranquility to we've all started just wanting to fucking kill each other because of what? because of how we voted in the last election. I mean, it seems to me like that was never a good reason to start shooting each other. You know what I mean? Not a whole lot of elections in America anyway have ended in gunfire. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. Are they going to make Kirk holiday just like MLK Day? Is it too soon? I don't think it is. I mean, look, Trump's already said he's going to give them the Congressional Medal of Freedom, which is the highest award that the president can give to a civilian. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm lost. I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for ideas, which is even more scary. I don't know what to do with it at this point. I mean, I didn't always agree with Charlie Kirk. I'm not particularly religious. He was a very religious guy. But, I didn't always agree with him. But I don't know where to go. You guys have any suggestions? Because this is one of those moments where my brain, I just can't fully process everything that's out there right now, at least not all the way. Maybe that's the problem. Northern DC says, I think we are. I think this trial and the death penalty being on the table will be major. They may or may not. I don't know that he'll get the death penalty. I have a feeling he's probably going to plea bargain out of it because there's not really any. He doesn't really have a defense. If it was insanity, if it was, rock music rotted my brain, video games rotted my brain, if it was something like that, I mean, maybe I don't know. I just feel like he's going to plea bargain. I don't think he's mentally bad. I think he was radicalized and misguided. So I don't think he's going to get the death penalty. Now, my personal guess at this point is he pleads, he gets life without parole. He's going to spend the rest of his life in jail, which doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me is the fact that it's going to cost the taxpayers a ton of money to feed and shelter that guy for the next 60 years, but whatever. What I want to see, look, here's the problem with the death penalty, in my opinion. It doesn't happen fast enough. I mean, if you kill somebody, depending on what state you're in, you get the death penalty, and then you sit on death row for 30 years. That's not a death penalty. That's a prison sentence. But instead of getting let out after 30 years, they just put the needle in your arm or pushing the gas. They don't do the gas chamber anymore. But I don't know. I know that the death penalty is not a deterrent in large part because it doesn't happen fast enough. I think, this is just me, that if someone is given the death penalty by a jury of their peers, that what should happen is the sentence has to be carried out in 1 year from that date, and you have until the 7 days before the scheduled execution date to file all your appeals. And then after that, there's a cutoff where it's like, no more appeals. If you haven't gotten one into the courts that was going to work by now, you're probably not going to get one at all. Sorry about your luck. Go strap this guy down, give him the needle, let's go. Utah does still have a firing squad. I know most states that still have the death penalty have gone to lethal injection, but I know that some states, including the state that I live in, actually has the. I think Ohio also has the firing squad and the lethal injection, but that's not important right now because what is important is you're adding our good friend from the great Canadian North, Dr. Nick. What's up, brother?
Hey, man, I'm so shitty under these circumstances that we're together, but we don't have a show this week, so I'm glad I get a chance to come on and at least talk a little bit, especially with an American friend, just to say how much this really actually affected a lot of us in the North too. Just how I missed the beginning. I just watched Ballerina. Excellent movie. If you haven't seen it, I quite enjoyed it. But I was actually talking to old man Lissick on the phone, and I have my phone on a holder at work, and the thing dinged, and I was like, it's like Charlie Kirk got shot. I'm like, what? Like, holy shit. Actually, no, I called Chad. And I'm like, did Charlie Kirk get shot? Because I don't know what was going on. I had no idea because I'm at work, right? And then, yeah, just how fast we saw everything. And I've been saying this for a very, very long time. There's the issue over in Britain right now where if you say a bad thing about anybody, you go to jail. And I've been saying for years now, like our freedom of speech is under attack. And over there, you can go to jail for saying something bad about somebody.
You can go to jail for saying something very mundane.
Yeah, I guess that's more of a better way to put it, Frank.
It's because again, it's not even like saying something bad. It's like I use this example with me and Tex. It's like he says the Cowboys are the best team. I say the Niners are the best team. Because I disagree with him, should I have him fired from his job and thrown in jail?
Yeah.
Or should I come out and be like, here's stats, here's records, here's evidence to prove my case. Now give me the evidence that proves your case.
100%.
But in Great Britain, it's like you'd be like, I don't like that girl's hair. And then next thing you know, you got a couple of bobbies knocking on your door saying, come with us. You're under arrest for bad stuff. And it's like, really?
Yeah. Now, with everybody getting fired now, I was thinking about how I've always said on our show, Alex and the Garbage Man, on Mondays usually, that I don't think people should be fired for these kind of things, right? Like when they say something, like to lose your whole livelihood over saying something stupid. But I mean, with that being said, though, think about how many people have lost their jobs over not agreeing with the transgender movement, over not agreeing with gay marriage. Like, people have lost their livelihoods. Now, with all these really, really crazy leftists that you're seeing, and I say leftists because I'm going like the purple hairs and all that stuff, that the TikToks we've all seen when they were praising that Charlie Kirk had been shot, but then they're crying on the next video because they lost their job. Is it kind of one of those, you reap what you sowed? You're the one that wanted this. You guys were the ones that were like, if anything is triggering to anybody, cancel Christmas, kitchen's closed. We're done here. And this is the way it's been going for how many years now? About COVID, just after COVID is when that went back crap crazy, where everybody was getting fired for everything.
I would actually go back to where a lot of this stuff happened to like early 2000s. The thing about this a lot later, even before the whole thing with Charlie Kirk a couple days ago.
Well, I did hear they were talking about a toy from the early 2000s, and it was an Al Snow toy. Now, for those who don't know, Al Snow is a professional wrestler, and he had he always had a mannequin head with him. And the whole gimmick is that he talked to the head. Like the head was real. He would have it was hilarious. But so when they released the toy, he had a head with him. Well, people lost their minds because they thought it was abusing women because he had a head. It's like, you don't know the gimmick. You don't know what's going on. You just see a head in in a toy and assume that it's a woman's head. Like maybe like that. So I guess you're right. And Bubba the Love Sponge called it in about 2008 or 9. He called it the pussification of America.
Yeah, there's a lot of examples of people not knowing or not recognizing that symbolism does not mean one color or another. You probably remember several years ago they were putting up that bronze statue of the first responders raising the American flag over Ground Zero.
Yep.
They ended up having to take it back down because somebody was complaining that one of them wasn't black. It's like it's bronze. There is no bronze skin color. It isn't meant to represent just white people or black people or Asians. It's meant to just represent the whole of the people that were down there doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. We didn't paint any faces. It doesn't really matter. And they ended up taking the damn thing down.
So,
and I'm like, this is just plain retarded.
So is this the stupid stuff where it's like, now I did not see this statue, so I need to look this statue up, see if I can actually find a picture of it. Now, I'm not trying to be racially insensitive when I say this, but there's features that go to different races. So what, they were just stereotypical faces? And so this always brings the thing of, well, okay, they were just meant to be people. Well, maybe you're the racist because, I mean, it's just supposed to be people. So is it because they're just too generic looking and they don't have specific features of a certain race? That's what your trigger is? Like, people have way too much time on their hands. Way too much time. And I need to see this thing. I'm trying to find
I got pictures of it. I'm trying to find an article about it because I don't want to just talk about it and not.
Yeah, but like this like, you always have to be so worried about things you say. You know, there's times when you might, like, I feel like you might slip on our shows and you're like, oh, I hope that doesn't come back to bite me. And well, in fact, our first show ended over a controversial comment by one of my co-hosts at the time. And it was like, oh, you know, and yeah, I got to see this because this is 9/11, right?
Here's something from, this is Snopes, so take it as you will.
Okay.
Let me stop sharing this for a second. Oh, you go away. Stop sharing. And I'll go to this so yeah, this is the back to Snopes, go away. I want your newsletter. So it's a statue that is a bronze statue of this moment right here. The 3 firefighters raising the flag. On the flag
I remember that. Yep.
They had a bronze statue. As a matter of fact, here's the statue right here. Let me try to zoom out a little bit to give you guys a little bit better view. There's a copy of the statue right there.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, let me try to read a little bit of this. We go back into the top. Photo of they actually have the names now. I didn't know they had actually ever been named. Dan McWilliams, George Johnson, and Billy Einsregan. I'm saying that wrong. I'm sure I am. Raising the flag on a pole anchored about 20 feet of rubble, the World Trade Center following the 9/11 attacks in 2001. It touched us. It was great. It was like the Iwo Jima thing. The controversial memorial would have not been historically accurate, however, as 2 of the 3 firefighters who raised the flag that day had been restyled as Hispanic and Black firefighters in the 19-foot, $180,000 statue. Can somebody tell me how you look at a bronze face and determine how you get any color out of it at all? If I was looking at what is supposed to be a bronze sculpture of Martin Luther King, I could make that assumption. But assuming that the vast majority of Americans don't know their names, and as much as I've looked into 9/11, I didn't realize they had been named until just now. Mm-hmm. How would I look at that and be like, that's a black guy, that's a white guy, that's an Asian guy, that's a Hispanic guy, that's a whatever guy? How would I notice, and how would it matter? That's my question.
Yeah, why would, like, what again? That's we go to the now we gotta make turmoil something that actually brought your guys' country together. You know, like I heard many Americans saying that, because I trucked down there, like that was a time where everybody kind of came together as one. You know, everybody was like, we got to defeat this evil. We got to be together. And then we're going to complain because we made a statue to honor these people. Like, give your heads a shake. Seriously.
It's dumb. And like I said, I've always tried to take the conservative route, not to kill them with kindness necessarily, but just put it out. Just try to say, hey, let's turn the other cheek. Let's be the nice guys. Let's let good feelings and positivity win the day. But by the end of the day, on was it Thursday, something like that, Wednesday, by the night that it all happened on the 10th,
it was Wednesday.
By the time I went to bed, I had gone through all those initial reactions, and I was just angry. A big part of me was just like, you know what, I don't know what to do except put the gloves on and be like, you guys want to fight? Let's fight. I don't. It's not just fighting fire with fire. It's understanding that at some point your enemy will not rest. They will not rest if you cater to them, if you appease them. I mean, this was the whole knock on Kennedy's father. He appeased the Germans, and that gave Hitler all the time in the world to build up all of his shit, and that's what ended up making World War II a big deal. Mm-hmm. We've seen appeasement, and I feel like that's what we're doing to the progressives at this point. Not the left. Democrats aren't the problem. It's the progressives that are doing this. It's that small pocket that is like stupid fucking loud. And because they're so loud and so obnoxious and they garner so much attention to themselves because they have no lives, it feels like that's the entire Democratic Party. And I really don't think that's the case. It's just a progressive wing. Because I said this, it pissed off a lot of Republican friends I have. I think the Tea Party is a terrible fucking idea. I didn't like it at all. I'm like, if you want to beat Obama that badly, if you want to try to beat him in that second election so he doesn't win re-election, the last thing you want to do is you want to go into the generals divided, two different Republican parties. Mm-hmm. Lincoln said it. The House divided against itself can't stand.
Yeah, you're 100%. That's what happened here.
That's exactly what happened, and why Romney never really stood much of a chance. It's so, but it's about to get super spicy in here. The shape of Lone Star State. My man Tex. What's up, brother?
Howdy, boys.
Hey, brother, man.
Y'all are lucky that one of my cows decided to get to leave the barn when she wasn't supposed to, so I had to come home early from the barn to find her. I'm here now.
I was actually shocked just seeing Frankie here. Like, fuck, where is Tex? There's no way he is missing this shit.
Well, my Texas A&M Aggies are whooping on Notre Dame right now, so I'm watching it on TV from home. But no, I had been waiting for this show, and Frank, I'm going to go ahead and apologize to you early because you may not be on YouTube by the time I get done. So let's start telling some truths here, boys. So, what's up, Dr. Nick? How are you, my friend? Hope you're doing well.
It's great to hear your voice, my friend. Yeah,
you too, man. It's been too long.
You're right.
We got Rumble to back us up, so we're okay.
Well, there we go. It's like I said. I am a wee bit more intoxicated than I am normally. So just keep that in mind.
Do I need to stop sharing on my Facebook and my YouTube?
No, I will. I will try to contain. I will try to be somewhat civil. Well, but no promises. We'll see how this goes.
As I take a rip off the vape pen. Go ahead.
Yeah. So either way, but yeah, I assume y'all are talking about the assault on Western white culture of trying to get rid of free speech in this country by a bunch of mentally ill, brainwashed morons that don't know what they are, and they want to make everybody to play pretend, and since they can't win an argument, they want to shoot and kill people. Is that what we're talking about now?
Well, I was just talking about the freedom of speech stuff, all that other stuff.
That's all part of it. No, that's all part of it because, freedom of speech, since these group of people that are so privileged, they're so, misrepresented. They're mistreated, yet Hollywood, every movie, everything has to be about them. But they can't win an argument, so they have to shoot Charlie Kirk in front of his children. Like, this is not okay. This is not how we live in this world. We're not we used to not be a third world country. Whatever shell of a hole that America has become, I don't recognize it anymore. And I'm not even a Charlie Kirk fan. He was always too milquetoast for my liking. I mean, I've made no bones about this. But I'm done. I am done playing nice. I refuse to, let's put our swords down and let's just join together. No, I am not joining with that evil group over there that wants our children, that wants to morally corrupt, make us go along with their life. Oh, yeah, you were born a boy, but now you're a girl. And if you don't agree with me, we're going to kill you. I'm not agreeing with that demon. And I don't expect anybody else to agree with me on this panel. That's fine. I'll stand on this hill by myself. But I'm done playing nice. I am done holding my tongue. Something's got to be done in this country. They tried to kill Trump at least three to five times. Austin Metcalf, a white Christian male football player down here, was killed by a black man that was not where he was supposed to be because he was white. The white girl, the white Ukrainian girl on the train, Erna, I can't remember her last name. I wish I did because she deserves to be remembered. She was even one of their supporters. He killed her because he got that white girl. And now these same people who are on that side of the aisle go and kill Charlie Kirk in front of people because he says mean things that they don't like. I'm sorry, but we have a First and a Second Amendment here for a goddamn reason. Mine's not getting took away.
Well, they're trying to take away the First Amendment.
Good. That's why we have
that was the whole. That was yeah. That's what I'm to say. That's the whole point of taking the shot at Charlie Kirk, is because he had mastered the free speech. He never once, because I used to watch his videos I have watched his videos all the time. I actually just watched a couple today, and he has a way of doing something that I like to think I do with like customers when they get to be assholes. He has a way of very calmly walking you right into the one part of your argument that's going to fall apart, and just letting you step on it. And as soon as you realize it, go and then Charlie goes, "See, do you understand why your shit is weak?" And he never yelled at anybody, never degraded. All this shit that's been said about him, about how he said black women don't have smart brains. It's science. Basically what fucking Ron Burgundy would have said on Anchorman.
Yeah, no, there's no proof
something like that. Well, what he was talking about was he thought Ketanji Brown Jackson, he was criticizing her while she was going through the nomination process of the Supreme Court, saying that he didn't think she had the capacity. He didn't say the black woman. He didn't say the woman. He said this person that is up for this role, I don't think has the capacity to see things the right way. A very non-racial, non-sexist, nothing. But they take those words and they think that because she is a black woman, that he hates black women. No, he didn't like her because he didn't feel she was qualified. If you'd have put, because before I think he was even born, is when Clarence Thomas was put on the bench. It's like, I doubt he would have come out and said that Clarence Thomas wasn't smart. He had said, "Hey, I like this guy. He's got the points of views that I share." That you would have been like, "Oh, but he's a black guy." Blah blah blah. He never made anything about race or anything like that. Even the stuff that he had written on the bullets. The guy written on the bullets about trans activism and whatnot. He wrote a bunch of crazy shit.
Oh, I can't wait to tear into that.
It's just proof that he never said anything bad. He would say basically the stuff I said. If you want to put on a ghillie suit, stand in your front yard making tree poses, and identify as a shrubbery, you go right ahead. That is your thing. I'm allowed to think you're weird.
Right.
If I think you're weird, I'm classy enough to walk up to you when you're making tree poses in your front yard identifying as a shrubbery. I'm not going to walk up to you and say you're weird. I might just leave you alone. I might just drive by, let you do your thing, look at you funny. That's it. But don't ask me.
But he also said,
hold on a second. The problem is it went from acceptance to we want you to share in our delusion. And that's why a lot of people were like, well, I'll let you live your life as a woman, even though you were born as a male. That's fine. But don't ask me to call you a woman. Don't ask me to think that you're a woman. That goes against what I know to be true in reality. And so when you start demanding that people see things the way you see things, that's where things get a little fuckered, because that's not how this is supposed to work. And like I said, I don't think they understand the reasons why the amendments are numbered the way they are. You take a shot at the first, guess which one's next? The second. The second one's there to defend all the other ones. So you're not going to get down the line of the Constitution before that second one's going to stop you. And trust me, you're picking a fight with all the people that love the guns, as you say, and you guys are all the blue-haired assholes that have never shot a gun in your life. Every time you shoot one, you have to go through 6 weeks of PTSD therapy. Sorry, you guys. This. If you want to start this war, it's gonna be over before breakfast.
Okay, tag, my turn.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jim Jeffries, Australian comedian living in America now. He has a big gun control act, but he even says in this act, and he doesn't like guns, but he says, I'm going to talk about guns. I don't like guns. Everyone starts cheering. He's like, guys, shh. Remember, the other side has all the guns. Like, he even says that in the bit, right? So that's what I'm not understanding is the side that is apparently you guys are all gun-toting, crazy people.
You're damn right.
Is the ones that are you're the ones shooting at people, and what I don't. Here's the one, going back to when you said like Charlie Kirk, and I've had this conversation again with my friend Chad about. You notice how whenever we see, and I actually had to look up to see who liberal political influencers are. And I still don't know any of these people like that I've seen in a debate. I think I've seen, where is he? Harry Sissons. I think I've seen him. I think
he's a piece of shit.
I know, but I think I saw him. I actually think I saw him and Charlie go at it. And the thing is I noticed that when it's a Republican talker, like a Ben Shapiro or a Candace Owens or the girl that looks like Ben Shapiro, the young girl, Cooper, or a Charlie Kirk.
Cooper, yeah.
Thank you. They talk, but they just talk. But as soon as you see like the liberal, when they start firing back at them, they start getting louder and louder. And like they think that screaming and getting mad at people is what's going to get their point across. Where it's like, no, like you're actually making yourself look stupid by screaming and yelling and doing all this shit. And I've said this many times. I had to delete someone on Facebook because she's crazy left wing. My mom's friend. She's been like this for years. But when you're saying that Charlie Kirk was endorsing violence, then you've never watched any of his videos. He's a Christian man, and I've made it very clear about my feelings on religion. The last thing he ever did was sit there and say that he wanted people to shoot people or kill people. So if that's what you're going on, you have complete misinformation, and I'm not going to fight with you on Facebook about it. And I've made it very clear to anybody, because this is being shared on my Facebook and mine and Alex's channel right now on YouTube. Anybody has a problem with what I'm saying right now and disagrees, you're more than welcome to come on our show and we're back on. I've always said that. If you disagree, come on and have a conversation with us. I'm not going to fight with you on Facebook. Okay.
I have invited so many people to have debates on YouTube, and all of them have said no.
Well, yeah, because they don't have an argument. Because their argument, and then the other thing, and I've said this many times, and I'll yield the floor to Tex. Stop calling people fucking Hitler. Because until, I don't care if it's fucking Barack Obama, I don't care if it's Donald Trump, Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, fucking Kamala Harris, any of them. Nobody is Adolf Hitler. The more times that we say he's like Hitler, you're making less of what that piece of shit did in the realm of humanity. Nobody is Hitler. So stop calling people fucking Hitler, because nobody is ever going to be Hitler. I hope and pray to nothing that we don't ever have anyone that can top Hitler. I yield the floor.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. There's no. I'll be real honest with you. It's like I said a minute ago. I'm to the point where I'm done having political conversations. I'm done. I know what my viewpoint is. We are to a point in this, not just this country, but this world, where it is so on edge politically. Everybody's at everybody's throat. I know what I believe. I don't give a shit what you believe or anybody else. If you don't like what I think, that's fine. Go away. I'm ready to have my little echo chamber. I'll be in my little hole over here. And if you step on my toes, God help you, bring your own body bag. I don't provide that. But I'm ready to be left alone. It's like I said, these group of insane people, these people that have, the gender dysmorphias, we're this, I'm that. So you are come out right out to my face and telling me you have a mental disorder, but you want me to cower to you and and put you in charge and let you lead the way and let you lead my children. But yet the minute I stand up and say something that doesn't bow down and worship you, I'm going to get shot for it? I don't think so. Y'all know me. I keep to myself. Yeah, I speak big because guess what? I got a big freaking personality. That's the way that it is. It's why I'm entertaining. But I am so tired of the garbage. I am tired of pacifying these mentally ill children that think they run the world, or the people that have been on 4 generations of welfare that think everybody's racist if you don't bend over and kiss the black man's ass. I am tired of it. I am tired of my people in this country being third-class citizens in the country that we built. Every other race in this world has their place. Why does everybody else have to come to mine? But whenever we stand up to defend it, we get shot at. Whenever we say make America great again or America first, we're racist for that? I don't think so. I'm not coming to your house, Nick, and saying, okay, you're going to pay for all my crap. This now belongs to me. And if you don't do all this, you're a bigot. That's not how life works, pal. I am absolutely sick of where this world has. It is vile. It's disgusting. I am sick of agreeing with these demons. It is time that they get called on the carpet and have their little just everything dealt with. I am so fed up. I'll be real honest with you.
I get really frustrated with the tactics too. I mean, Reverend says
yes,
it's where quotes are being misquoted and taken away out of context. Past that, they're just blatantly lying and making up this shit. I mean, misquotes happen. Out of context, you could say that might happen, but these people are blatantly making things up. I mean, all these, like the stuff they've said about Charlie Kirk the last couple of days, he was misogynistic, racist, blah, 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 but they cannot one time give me a clip of him saying this bad thing about black people, this bad thing about trans. It's just saying that he disagrees with it, and one of the reasons it's happening is because of whatever, and they're saying it's because he's being hateful. That's not true. That's not true at all. Also, Chuck, I want to get your thoughts on this. You're probably going to agree with me because you have a much more violent nature than I do. But
you're not lying. You're telling the truth. Yeah,
I've gotten not mellower. I've gotten more choosy about the battles as I've gotten older. Trust me, there are many times a day where I want to punch somebody in the throat. There are just also many times a day that.
Oh, you have no idea.
But I want to get your thoughts on this. Like I said, I went to bed the other night, the day that all this happened. I had gone through all the other stuff, the shock, the fear, the sadness. I went to bed and I was angry. I was just angry.
I'm still angry.
And me too, by far. But by the time I went to bed that night, I just kind of thought to myself, I don't know if the high ground that the Republicans and the conservatives want to take is an option anymore, because when we take the high ground, they seem to just reach up with a knife and slash at our feet. And how do we continue without finally saying, you know what, if you want the fight, let's have the fight? Because I brought up the example earlier about Tim Pool. He was saying when all this stuff was going on with Hunter Biden and his court cases, his legal cases and stuff like that, you ready, Nick? Right.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
No, yeah, you're right. But I was saying earlier that I really wanted them to just tear Hunter Biden a new one, not because for any real legal reason. The legalities were going to handle itself. It's way out of my league anyway. But just because if it were a conservative, if it were one of Donald Trump's sons, they would stop at nothing to ruin him down to the DNA. Yep. Why are we not willing to do the same thing? Why don't we, metaphorically, Secret Service, metaphorically, why don't we gut this dude neck to nuts, hang him on the fence of the White House and say, you want to play dirty? Let's fucking play. And then walk away. And let them look at that carcass and say, it looks like they're not afraid to get their hands dirty anymore. Let's get our own political wet team to go ruin some people. That's one of the reasons.
Look at it this way, Frank.
Go ahead.
Take that poor Ukrainian girl who was a Black Lives Matter supporter, simply coming home from her job and was ruthlessly stabbed by some hood rat. I got that white girl because she was white. Flip that around. If that is a white dude standing over some poor black girl, and says the exact opposite thing, we've got George Floyd 2.0, and tell me I'm wrong. I'm right.
I'm going to do you one better, Tex. You also need to add in there the people that were standing and watched it happen.
Right. A train full of black people sat there and watched. That poor girl, that picture of her cowering in fear should be on every billboard, and the picture of Charlie Kirk right next to her, and Austin Metcalf, the Texas football player that was stabbed by another black man because of what is happening in this country, and I'm sick of it. I don't care what you call me, racist. You call me whatever you want. I'm over it. I don't care. I want my country back. I want the third world filth out of here. I want the disgusting trainees and the play pretenders gone out of my country. If you don't like my words, go to hell. That's what I have to say. And since Dr. Nick is here and he's a music guy, I'll use an AC/DC quote here to finalize up. If you want blood, you got it. That's how I feel about it. God damn it. So,
okay. So can I show you this before? I got a new toy. I got a new thing. I got to show Tex. Look at that. Maybe you've already got it already. Look at that.
Oh, that's fucking sweet. Is that the blanket?
It's the blanket. Yeah, I just got it. Our spirit.
I saw that, but I got the orange one where he's standing there with the pretty lady mask on. I got the orange one. I didn't get that. Yeah,
and I also bought the retro Jason mask from the video game.
Oh, it's like that greenish purple one or whatever?
Yeah, it's hanging on my wall. But anyways.
That's cool shit.
You know my feelings when it comes to see, this is the thing. I know what your feelings are towards transgender and stuff like that. You know my feelings. We can still have a conversation.
Fuck off and die.
But we could still have a conversation. That's what
I'm saying. Yeah. That's the whole point. This is words we're exchanging. Yes.
This is what's missing in the world today, is being able to have a conversation. Like, we can disagree. What I find funny in the society that we're in right now, and I've said this on our show, my show, the only thing in this world that you can really be like, fuck that, and say all you want about is religion. You notice that? You could I could sit here and say all the horrible things I want about religion, and nothing will happen to me.
Yeah.
But if I were to say anything bad against a certain kind of community, and there's more than just one, I would probably.
Oh, there's many protected. Well, there's a whole. Well, technically in America, there's one group that's way more protected than others. But if you go talking about tiny hats around here, people get real nervous because that's really getting down into the weeds of all things. But it is what.
Yeah. So, it's this world. It's weird. It's a weird world. And the thing is no matter how much they try to clean it, that video of him getting shot's not going to go anywhere. And everybody should see that video. That video what I'm saying
needs to be shown.
His children don't need to see it.
No, I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. And there's going to be some asshole. I guarantee you right now, there's assholes sending his wife the video or pictures of it.
Oh, of course. Now, did you see the speech his wife gave last night?
No, I
Eric
did not.
Kurt?
No.
You need to go watch that. She gave one of the most strongest, most brokenhearted speeches I've ever heard in my life. And you saw the fire of righteousness in her eyes as she spoke. Erica Kurt ain't fucking around. Turning Point ain't. Now, I'm kind of nervous what happens to Turning Point. And like I said, I'm on the far, far right. Turning Point was milquetoast for me. They're the moderate Republicans. My group is the scary conservatives that are further over here that think they're just blah. They shot the moderate guy. That's the stupid part. They don't know what they've caused. Just like what Greg Gutfeld said on there. They said, do y'all really think that you snuffed out this movement? You just fucked around and you found out. Because now people have their give a damn is busted, and it's time to really make a change in this country. I'm not talking Trump. It's ridiculous.
The last 5 years or so, there's been this huge swing to the conservative side anyway. Yeah. One of the interesting things that I saw after the election last year was that like even in the states that voted for Kamala Harris, a lot of these states, the percentage of their votes swung to the right by like 20%. Even California, of all places, had I want to say like a 14% swing from the last election to the Republican candidate. That's California, kids. It's a lot of fucking people. that's a lot of people.
Well,
so
let's not forget California voted Reagan in what 80s. It was not that long ago.
Very, very different era, though. Very different.
Yeah,
I understand that, but I'm saying it wasn't that long ago.
Politically, it was 2 lifetimes ago. It's not that long ago to us, but politically, it was several lifetimes ago. But again, you're talking about a different set of I would imagine that at least 60% of the people that voted in that 1980 election probably aren't even alive anymore. So you're talking of all the people that voted, a lot of the people that voted in this election probably were not even alive when that 1980 election happened. To say nothing of the 84 election, which was such a fucking lopsided affair anyway. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, the whole thing is just a fucking mess. Then of course Casey coming in with the actual fuck.
It is.
Well, I sent you a message. For some reason you tried to call me on Twitter, even though I know I've given you my number before. But whatever. You're more than welcome to come.
Here's the point. Here's the point, and I sincerely mean this with every word that I say. I am pissed. I'm ready for civil war. I'm ready to go. Let's pony up and see where everybody stands. Is that what I want? No. I want discourse. I want, like Dr. Nick was talking about a minute ago, I want people to get their heads on straight and realize, hey, let's stop playing patty cake and pretend with I'm a tree. I'm a whatever. No, you're a mentally ill retard that needs to go to the freaking insane asylum so normal people can live their lives. You can be on the left. You can be on the right. I've got friends that are Democrats, and guess what? They're good, solid people, and guess what? They agree with that. It is time that we get back to normalcy in this world. We stop normalizing everything that is wrong and upside down and backwards. I don't care what your perversions are. Go do your thing in your bedroom. You don't get a month. You're not going to parade you down the street. We're not going to praise you for sleeping with somebody and or thing. Go to hell. It's time for normalcy back in this world. It's time to stop in the soft language. Start calling out stuff. Let's stop tiptoeing around. Oh, well, I don't want to be accused of being racist, so I'm not going to speak the truth. That needs to die right now. Start calling a spade a spade. We have tiptoed too long on eggshells, and all these soft little people think they run the world, and when they don't get their way, they shoot Charlie Kirk in the neck because he said mean things.
I just saw this.
Go ahead.
No, this illustrates one of the points I wanted to make. It's like there used to be this old expression in politics that politics is like elections are like baseball seasons. Every team's going to win 62 games. Every team's going to lose 62 games. There's two with the other 62 to count. That the other 62 was the independent voter, the undecided voter, or the moderate voter for the longest time. Here's what ended up happening is you have it sectioned off in 3 sections. Those 2 lines that stand between the extreme one way and extreme the other tend to widen out a little bit, and that center part becomes bigger, which makes the center part a more important voting block. The problem is those lines moved out so far that you have everybody is basically in the middle. They feel kind of politically homeless. And there's these small section on the end of each line now that is like the extreme end of the Democrat or Republican Party, and those assholes are the ones that are ruining it all. They've made everybody moderate, and then all of a sudden, everybody's brains became the battle zone for these people. So rhetoric, bullshit,
anything short of being Stalin himself,
bullshit from the left. That's kind of what's happened. And all these people in the middle, they all want to be on the side that isn't fucking insane, which is the progressive side, and that's why they're starting to drift right.
Anybody that's short of being Stalin himself is considered a Nazi these days. And this is the problem. Hell, look at Trump. Trump's not a conservative Republican. He's a 90s Democrat, for Christ's sake. He's a populist. He's not hardcore MAGA. He used the hardcore MAGA base to get elected. Any fool could see that. He was just the best option out of the pile for everybody. just look at the world we live in. It's so cleaned up. It's so polished. Everything has to be so generic. No, okay, perfect example. Something that happened recently. The whole Cracker Barrel thing. Oh well, it's modeled on the whole being Southern and whatever. So we have to polish all of that away and make it clean, generic, and give you the bland version of it. Every brand has done this now to the point where nothing feels comfortable anymore. Everything is generic, gray. It's the flavor that used to make this country great is gone. And that's what, to me, is make America great again. It's not supporting Donald Trump. I don't like Donald Trump at this point. I think he has failed on everything that he's promised. He promised a lot of stuff and he has not came through. Y'all know me. Y'all know where I stand. I've got a good one. I love you guys. I love this country. But what is happening to it makes me sick. I am scared for what my children are going to grow up in. I do not like what's going forward here, because if Charlie Kirk can go out there respectfully arguing with people and get shot in the neck for it, what do you think is going to happen to everybody else? That's the point here. It's madness.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about any of this shit anymore. Let me try to.
I know exactly what to think, but unfortunately, if I said everything that I'm thinking, I get arrested, and that's the problem.
Yeah, let's see. Reverend says the radicalization of humanity that's making this even worse. Where is simple thoughts and feelings? Well, the left keeps telling people that thoughts and feelings don't matter.
Right.
That your thoughts and prayers don't matter. Your feelings don't matter. All that matters is DEI. All that matters is equality. Like that's gonna make the world go. Equality doesn't make the world go round. Money does. That's why capitalism works, and this communism bullshit that they are so steeped in now is never going to. Frederica says he's seen the far and the close video. The close video is awful. I mean, it's
the close.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
You guys might remember the name Bud Dwyer.
Oh yeah. Well, and if you watch that up close video, you actually see he's wearing a Kevlar vest under that T-shirt.
He is not wearing any Kevlar. All that's been debunked already. It was debunked the next day.
I don't know. I'm going to disagree with that. But either way, the
only armor he would have had that would have deflected a bullet would have been like plated body armor, and he was not wearing anything.
The man was shot in the neck for calling out trans violence because it's actually happening. Literally happening right now. He got called out for it. Now who he was shot by, I've got many questions about who the shooter was, who it actually was. That's a whole nother JFK level conversation I'm not ready to have yet. But we're going to have that one day too.
Well, one of the things that's interesting about this situation, as opposed to like Butler from last year, we got the guy alive.
Right.
It's not like Crooks takes the shot and then a couple snipers wipe out Crooks, erasing his head from the world, and then we're just left to wonder what the hell happened in those like 30 or 40 seconds. So we actually got this guy alive, so I think we're gonna get answers out of this
guy. So I want to read this. This is the problem. This is a Canadian website of the CBC called the CBC, and Ryan knows, and he's probably rolling his eyes. This is problem when you have liberal media reporting on shit. So it says, because I clicked on to see, because I know they're very liberal, what they're going to say about Charlie Kirk. So this is his most controversial points. And it says here, so in December of 2023, he was on Wired magazine. He called Martin Luther King awful and not a good person. But he also, and then he says, I have a very, very radical view on this. I can defend it. I've thought about it, Charlie said. And we've made a huge mistake as we passed the Civil Acts right in 1960. Okay? And then that's all they say. And it says, Kirk argues the statute has brought what he calls a permanent bureaucracy meant to promote diversity, equality, inclusion. Okay, that's not what all he said. His biggest point when it came to the black community was he feels that they've been subsidizing the single mothers in black communities. That's what he said a lot about. That was always his big issue, like with welfare and stuff like that was, they're promoting single motherhood. Yeah. And that's his opinion. It's an opinion. And then the guy, I'm not going to try to rattle off the stats, but then he'll come up with a bunch of stats. Like, I don't like. I mean, I'd have to look to go. Okay, is this
Are
true or
you
not?
talking about 13% of the population as being black people, and they're 60 or 61% of the crime, which is provable stats, by the way.
I was saying more like the amount of like single homes and stuff like that, because he's very big on the Christian belief of having a mother and a father in the home. But see, like when you do this, like this is the little bit that you're gonna read, and people are gonna think that you are a piece of shit and not know.
I'm just blown away by the whole thing. Let me ask you guys this. I'll start with you, Nick. Do you think this guy is going to actually get the death penalty, or do you think he pleads down to life in prison?
I don't think they can let him plead down. I mean, they got to give him the opportunity to, but I mean, he's got to kind of think of his own life now. So I mean, just from like the Law and Orders I've watched inside prison and stuff like that, if he does get life in prison, if he pleads down, he's going to be in solitary for the rest of his life, because there's going to be someone who is going to kill him, because they're going to want that. Well, first off, they probably, liked what Charlie Kirk stood for, but to have the notoriety to do that. So he needs to weigh his options. Do I live in a hole for the next 30 years, 40, longer, whatever? Or do I just let it, end now? Because, like prison's not fun, but it's really going to suck for him. So I think that maybe they will, but I think the backlash, I don't know. I think someone might actually take a shot at him if they do let him do that.
I don't think anybody will take a shot at him because, again, conservatives are too weak. They don't want to get their hands dirty.
Nope.
I don't know. What do you think, Tex? Do you think he gets the death penalty or life?
This piece of shit, he is the symbol of this now. I want him publicly executed, and I know this isn't going to happen, and I'm just in my own little head here. I want him waterboarded, tortured. I want him to name names. I want him to sing the ABCs to him about everything who he's knows, and all these Discord chats that he was apparently in, who he's affiliated with. I want him waterboarded till he sings like a canary, and then I want him hung publicly with his feet falling into a wood chipper. That's what I want. But in reality, he has to die. We cannot just, you get to sit on death row for the rest of your life till you have a heart attack from too much salt food. No. Blood for blood. You took one of ours, you're going next, pal. This is what needs to happen here. Just symbolically, just for the fact that we cannot let this stand of you didn't like what somebody else said, so you shot them in the neck. Go to hell, and we will happily send you there.
Yeah, I would love nothing more like Texas. I honestly, I sometimes think they should put the execution of murders on pay-per-view. And I guarantee a lot of people like Tex would.
I'll buy a ticket right now. I'll buy the T-shirt too,
and give the proceeds to the families. But the problem is that would never fly. Yeah, what do I want to see? Oh yeah, I want to see this guy get the needle. More than that is I want to see them bring back what California used to have, the gas chamber. That was a hell of a way to do things.
I want him quartered in the town square, screaming bloody murder like it's an Evil Dead movie. That's what I want to see.
So here's my idea. Here's my idea for the death row when you're on death row. Like, I'm one of those guys, kind of like maybe you can confirm this text. We have a Texan on. Do you guys still have what Ron White called the express lane? Like, if more than 3 people saw you commit your okay. So everybody saw this. Everybody, well, okay, again, God, I guess I can't say that about this kid because there's not 100% sure. There could be, is this the proper kid or not? But what I'm saying, this is him 100%. What I'm saying here is, you're guilty. Cool. They go down this thing that I was calling the Rainbow Road, and it's basically a strip that has a thing in the middle, and it has the sides, and they walk behind him, and he's in the front. And as they walk, and they just put the gun to the back of his skull. Done.
No, that's too good for it.
I know you're saying it's too good, Tex, what I'm saying is, save your guys' tax dollars, all that other crap. Is it tied 31-31? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. But yeah, that's why I just like...
Giggle Maggies, let's go, boys.
Save your guys' tax dollars. Say like I heard
we don't need.
Frankie as
No. It's don't worry. Give me a 2x4. Give me a 2x4 with a nail in it. I'll take care of it for you. What's a 2x4 cost at Home Depot? $5.
Actually, technically the bullet's probably still cheaper.
Either way.
Depending on the caliber.
Either way, there are many ways of doing this. He has to suffer. This is the point of what I'm saying. We've gone so far left. So we're tolerant. And this is why I've been preaching this for years. Tolerance is death. The minute you start tolerating all these alternative lifestyles, promoting them, giving them months, giving them whatevers. Oh, you're this, you're that. Please, drag queen story times led to this. This is what this led to.
That's what I was saying earlier, that it went from wanting acceptance to wanting some kind of dominance.
They don't want acceptance. They want power.
No, not anymore. At first, what they wanted was just like, let us be what we want to be. And then most conservatives already were like, we don't care if you're gay or
fine, go over there, do your thing. That's fine.
Even back in the 80s when I was a kid, it's like, maybe it's because I grew up in a very liberal town and even the religious people there were a little bit lefty. But it's like they were just like, so you're gay, who cares? You go do your thing, pay your taxes, make my hamburger, do whatever the hell it is you do. As long as you're a productive member of the community, I'm fine. But it went from wanting acceptance to wanting us to participate in their delusion. So it's not just like, it's not just like I could look at somebody a man who wants to live as a woman and be like, okay, you go ahead and do your thing, buddy. And they stop me and they're like, no, you have to think of me as a woman. I'm like, well, okay, sure, you want to be a woman, be a woman. They're like, no, you have to know in your heart and your mind that I'm a woman. It's like, no. I'm not going to intellectually lie to myself because you are whatever you want to call yourself. You are a trans, a sick person, whatever. For whatever reasons you want to dress in the other people's clothing. I don't have to agree. I don't have to make your delusion my reality. And it seems like that's kind of what all of them want, these malign groups. They went from wanting equality to wanting domination. They want to have something over the other group that oppressed them at some point. And that's not the equality that you guys were asking for. Because now you want control. That's all these idiots want. The problem is people got tired of it a lot faster than they thought they would. That's why you're shifting that. That's why you're seeing this shift back to the conservative way of thinking here in the States.
And just so, and I've said this on my show, I won't dox them for who they are, but I have friends that are gay, married women, and they are no longer involved in like the pride and whatnot anymore because they're like, it's been hijacked. They're like, and what we just said was, like the way you put it, Frank, they just wanted to live their lives. They just wanted to have the same right to get married and have kids, like to get kids, to adopt children. That's what they wanted. And they've actually said, like, it's been completely hijacked and they don't want to be involved in it anymore. So they're not. Which is, it's crazy that there's actually people from the left that are more liberal are actually leaving that. And they're part of the community, if you will.
I know.
I hate that word, by the way. Fucking community. That
you know what I
so
mean?
Comic shit. Oh, I know. I just
that group of people. That's what it means.
Group of people, yeah.
But I was thinking about it several weeks ago. I was talking to a friend of mine about it. I know plenty of gay people. I grew up in California. I know gay people here in Ohio, and about 90% of them identify as conservatives. There's a couple of them that are kind of like hardcore lefty, but the rest of them are all like, yeah, we're gay. But
because like I said a minute ago, everything short of Stalin is a far right leaning Nazi nut job to these people these days. There's no go back to look at JFK. JFK would be considered far right today. We've gone so far whack that it's just absolutely ridiculous. Infuriating.
Oh, that's Casey's on the air right now. That's why he's not here.
Yeah, he had sent me some message. He wanted to simulcast earlier, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe he is like, really,
yeah, he's on with Kratos and the Rose.
Yeah, they're talking about wrestling and shit.
They're talking about Pokemon. I just heard Pokemon McDonald's. I'm like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah. That's why I wasn't big on simulcasting. I'm like, I want to have a little more heady conversation.
I'm not here to talk. I'm here to watch my Aggies whip those filthy drunk Irishes. Gig 'em Aggies, let's go. And I'm here to tell the truth about what's going on in this world. This is what I'm here to do. And I'm all out of bubble gum. Hell, righty.
The truth is, the Aggies and the Fighting Irish are tied 31-31 going into the fourth quarter. So
Giga Maggies all the way, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, Ohio State already won. They pretty much won the game in the first quarter. I think they won like 49.
I was in Ohio State fan week 1, Frank. I even messaged you when y'all played those when y'all played those filthy hippies from Austin. I said, "Go Ohio State." I was a 1-week membership, so it's fine. It's all good. So it's all good.
I'll just send you an Ohio State hat and jersey, so that way, whenever you have to root for Ohio State, you get just that one day a year, maybe you can put on the Buckeyes gear.
Oh yeah, the interception. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what else can be said about Charlie Kirk and what led up to it all. Bottom line is, I've always kind of thought, a lot of people talk about Civil War. Yeah, I'm like, that's been a term that's been getting thrown around a lot the last like 2 or 3 years. I actually kind of thought for a while, and the events of the last, not so much that we're going to do it, just it already started. I think it started a long time ago. We didn't realize it. I think it started back in 1984. I think it started when Reagan wiped the floor with Mondale. And the Democrats looked at that and they were like, losing is one thing. They probably figured they were going to lose to Reagan anyway. I mean, he was a juggernaut in '84, but they didn't see getting beat that bad because that's why the Democrats ran John Kerry against George Bush Jr. back in 2004 or 3, whatever it was, because they knew they were going to lose. They just wanted to lose not so bad. And I think the main reason they swapped out Harris for Biden this last election is because they knew that if they left Biden there, that he was just going to get smoked. It may not have been Reagan-like, but it was not going to be good. I mean, he was going to get worked. So they were like, let's go ahead and switch him out for anybody. May as well do it for Kamala because she's going to lose, but she's not going to lose by as much. She basically lost as much as Clinton lost, which was not that far away. But yeah, because I've said it 100 times. If Biden would have stayed in the race, I think Trump would have flipped New Jersey and or Virginia, and there's a 50-50 shot he was going to flip New York. If he would have flipped New York, the election would have been called at 9:30. But that's just me. But I really do think it started back in 1984 when Mondale got his ass by Reagan. That's when the liberals started getting into unions, teachers unions, influencing media and things like that. That's when they really got after that, because they were like, we can't let that kind of an ass whooping happen ever again. While we're at it, why don't we just start, especially the teachers unions, why don't we just start getting to these kids and start teaching them our values earlier? And so that way, by the time they get into high school or college, they're already pretty much just a lump of liberal clay that we have to put the finishing touches on, and we send them out in the world with all these dumb ideas. So that's what ended up happening. So I think the Civil War really started way back then. We just maybe didn't realize it until now.
To me, there's two things that I believe are two of the most important battle plans of the left. Number one, get to the youth. Hitler did the same thing. All of these other groups, Stalin, everybody does this. They wanted to get to the youth. Why do you think so many of these people who believe this are teachers, they're librarians, they're whatever? They are in with these kids from grade school till college. And then two, the replacement migration that has happened in both Canada and America of the flooding of the third world to completely change the voting base, the demographics. What did Joe Biden say? Once I'm elected, flood the border, rush to the border. He wasn't the first one to do that. This country has been flooded with welfare cases, anchor babies, and everybody that the left is just trying to destroy everything. California's dead, so what happens? Now California, everybody who voted blue there, they're coming to Texas, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Arizona, wherever it may be. So that cancerous leg has been cut off, so now it's time to go somewhere else. They are doing whatever they can to ruin this country, and I'm sick of it. Canada the same way. I'm not even Canadian, and I cannot stand what has happened to y'all up there. We're supposed to be neighbors here. We're supposed to look out for one another. Why do you think Canada hadn't had to worry about attacks? Because Big Brother America's down here watching your back. It's a cohesive relationship here. They have attacked they go after our children that they want to. Oh, Johnny can be Susie. Oh, you can wear a dress and whatever. That cuts off another bloodline. Look at the birth rate in this country of white people, of white Americans. We're done. We are a minority in our own country now. Third world filth puts out more kids than us, and they're going to be citizens now. And guess what? We're a minority in the future. I hate what this country is becoming. It makes me sick. I cannot stand it. Send me back in time 200 years. I don't belong in this country.
The problem in part is the transference of culture. Tim Pool likes to use this example. Is like if you live in a town and baseball is really big in that town, and when you're a kid, your grandfather and your father get together, they have this, they raise the money, they help organize to get this baseball field installed, new baseball field. And then time goes on, the grandpa passes away, maybe the father just passed away, and now you, that child who was there when it was built and got to use it, is now an adult trying to figure out how to keep this thing running. You're looking at it, you're like, I need some updates, need to get a little bit of remodeling, let's do that. So you go to the city, council meeting, and start to make your pitch for why they should throw some money in it. And then somebody comes up and says, actually, we think that should be a Muslim welcoming center. And you're like, but that doesn't really have anything to do with who we are, what we are here. Why would we do that? But what ended up happening was a whole lot of Muslims moved into that town, and now they outvote the people that grew up there. So they're going to vote for the Muslim welcome center, and it's going to be built over the baseball diamond that you were trying to get repaired so our kids could use it. Next thing you know, their culture has pushed out our culture. That's why you see whole districts in Minnesota and Michigan where somebody like Ilhan Omar can get elected, because that entire district is where a bunch of Somalis,
the whore that married her brother,
they're all collecting there. They're taking over the district. So when you're pushing out the rest of the people that can vote the other way, that's what's going to happen. You're going to end up with Ilhan Omar. And I tell you what, I see it around here all the time. I've noticed it years ago that all the convenience stores around here, with the exception of like the big chain ones like 7-Eleven, Speedway, stuff like that, they're all run by Arabs. I was like, and I don't mean like most of them, I mean all of them. You don't go into one that isn't a big national chain store that isn't run by somebody from another country. And now I've noticed several times, you know what else is getting bought up by foreigners? Mostly Indians. Subway.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep, same here.
I hadn't been in a Subway in years.
All of these stores around here that I will go to from time to time, all of them are run by an Indian family now. And I'm like, so it's like, it's just one business after another is going to start getting sucked in. And next thing you know, our culture is going to be gone. I had this conversation with a guy I used to work with a long time ago when I was delivering pizzas. I came back from one of the local colleges, and I was just like, those Indians don't tip for shit. And he goes, oh, it's because they don't tip in their culture. And I said, well, that's good for their culture, but they're living in my culture now. Now, if I go to India and order a pizza for delivery, I know not to tip because they don't want it. They don't like it. It's not part of what they do. So I'll keep the tip, not because I'm a cheap bastard, but because it's just not what they do. But when they come here, if I'm expected to respect their culture over there, and some Americans have suffered for not respecting dumb things about their culture, under Obama, I think he dishonorably discharged that lady colonel who was like one of the first fighter pilots because she didn't want to wear a burqa walking around in Iraq or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Discharge her, career over. It's like, why should I let them come over here and turn my culture into their shitty culture that they were leaving to begin with? That's usually how it works out, because that's kind of what human beings do. But that's what's happening here.
Well,
here's the thing that I've said this many times, and I always say on our show, same as I haven't said before, blah blah blah. But if we were to move over to these other countries and try to do what is happening here, that shit wouldn't fly.
Nope.
If you're moving, okay. I'm not saying that when you come here, you have to abandon your religion and you're not allowed to, you have to become Canadian. You have to, you're allowed to be whatever religion or who you are as a person. But you left your country for a reason. There's a reason you left your country and came to our country. And yeah, practice your religion. That's the greatest thing about North America, is to practice religious freedoms. But the thing is, you also kind of got to be like, all right, oh, these guys like to do this too, so maybe I should give this a try, and not be so pig-headed to be like, oh, no, this is how I want it. Well, you left your country for a reason. There's a video that I've had shared with me, and it is a Sikh gentleman, and he's talking about why everybody seems to give them such a hard time. And this is a Sikh gentleman saying this. He's like, because our people come over here and we expect that our beliefs and religion should just go forth and what we say goes. We're coming to their country. We are guests in their country. This is him saying it. And we should act like it and not try to make it what we left. We left to prosper and have a different opportunity for our families, not to be stuck in the same stuff that we were stuck in back in our home country.
Yeah, it's just whatever the hell's going on. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Well, between so many you know what? Honestly, you know what got buried in the news the other day?
The school shooting?
A school shooting, and some guy beheaded his fucking landlord and was carrying his head around or something.
Well,
in Dallas.
And there was a shooting at a military base as well. And there was yesterday,
like 48 hours. In the 48 hours
yesterday, and I haven't had time to look this up prior to coming on, but this the Congress or Senate passed some kind of bill about protecting Israel or something. It went through Lauren Boebert. I can't remember exactly what it was. Maybe you can look it up, Frank. But something was passed. Some kind of whatever. But this is the point to kind of go back a step to what you were talking about. If America's so bad, why does everybody want to come here? You know,
that's the running question.
The Muslims get to have their country. The Mexicans can have theirs. Whoever can have theirs. The Africans can have theirs. White people. America is white. This is our country, goddamn it. I don't care what we fought and we died for it. Bottom line. You don't get to come to my house and take mine and call me racist in my home whenever you need to get the hell out of here. If your place was so bad, why are you trying to turn my place into yours? You know, it doesn't make much sense. It's just, you know, in Texas, we're dealing with this now. In the major cities like Austin or like a Dallas or somewhere, of these Californians that left California, California was so bad, taxes were too high, crime was miserable, but they bring their blue state politics to it. They're too stupid to see they're the problem. You know, you burned your house down, but you want to come play with matches in mine? I don't think so, pal. There's the door. We don't want you here. We don't need you here. Texas was just fine before you showed up, and it'll be better once you're gone. You know, I'm fine with everybody. If you want to be gay, if you want to be a furry and put your dick in a tree stump, I don't care. Go do it over there. You're not getting a day. You're not getting a parade. Don't ask me to praise you for it because that's none of my business, and I think you're vile and disgusting. So adios, pal. It's just everybody belongs somewhere. Stay out of my house. I can't stand what's going on in this world right now.
Yeah, Ginger says it's bad in the UK too. I've seen the pictures, I've seen the reports, I've seen the stories.
In the UK, the Muslims have destroyed that nation all over there.
And yeah, I was gonna say Ginger's saying that, and I game with a guy in Ireland, and because I've said, is it that bad? He's like 100%. He'll even say, I'm a racist asshole, but he's like. It's not a lie, Nick. It's happening. It's happening right now. They're like literally walking into people's houses and taking shit and attacking people. Like, it's like, holy fuck.
Remember that video that came out last week or whatever of those two young white girls having knives in their hands, protecting them from that Arab over there who was assaulting 12-year-old girls. These people are dogs. They don't understand the way of life. You know, they do not understand the civilized world. You know, these people need to go back where they belong. And I've been saying this for so long. And Alex, you know, from y'all, so I love Alex. He's my boy. He's my liberal buddy. He makes fun of me for pointing out these Bilderberg stuff and whatever. But it's literally happening. Replacement migration is real. Look at the UK. Look at what's happened there. Look at America. You can make fun of it all you want. That's fine. And, you know, Alex, if you're watching, shut up, buddy. Hopefully you can come on and hang out with us. But my point still stands. This stuff is real. It's legit, and it's happening. We need to protect ourselves and protect our homes. We are giving up our birthright that our fathers died for to be politically correct. I'm done. And I've been done for a long time, but I'm really done now.
And I'll say it again. We said it earlier. Like, the calm. It's almost like an eerie calm because I think, like, I don't know how Ginger is over there, and I don't know how, like, I mean, me and Ryan are in Canada, so is Bruce. Hi, Bruce. But it's almost like we're just waiting for it. We're just waiting for it to pop off. It's like
it's a matter of time.
Like, that's what I'm saying, Tex. It's kind of like you're just sitting there waiting, going, okay, like I feel like this nuke's about to go off. Why
do you think I stay prepped everywhere I go? I've got go bags in my house and my vehicle just in case.
Yeah, I got friends.
My family is prepped. I've got my family prepared. If something ever happens to me, they can defend themselves. You know, it is so sick that in this country, the greatest country on the planet, that what we have turned ourselves into in the name of political correctness. And up until this happened, and people call me racist for saying stuff like this. But once something like this happens and I'm proved correct, everybody sees the truth. People have been calling this out for years. But, don't be racist. Don't be a xenophobe. Don't be a whatever name you want to put on it. Your names mean nothing. If you think I'm those names, kindly go to hell. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, Tex isn't racist. He just hates the children. As a matter of fact, I got a new clip for him. Here you go, Tex.
What do I do, Lord? Destroy the child. Corrupt them all.
Hey, you know what? Alex Jones. And Alex Jones gets a lot of crap, and some rightly deserved, and I'll even call him out on. I've met Alex Jones, by the way. That man has gotten that lot right over the years. So many things, so many people, they're turning the freaking frogs gay. So many people saw that clip without seeing. Number one, he's actually right in the context behind that. Just like with all this Charlie Kirk stuff, all this stuff that gets took out of context. People have been doing that to Alex Jones for a long time. There are a lot of truth tellers. People need to be watching Drew Hernandez. You need to tune into. I don't fully endorse Nick Fuentes, but he is worth listening to. Where I do fully endorse Drew Hernandez. That man, he needs more attention. He's on Rumble only. He doesn't do YouTube or anything. But if you have Rumble, look up Nick Fuentes and watch his live broadcast. And now he is heavily Christian, so if you don't believe in that, he may not be for you. But politically, that man is right on. We need to stop sugarcoating everything and you poor he, they, she, them, zippity doo dah, go fuck yourself. Go to hell with your pronouns. You're a mentally ill moron that needs to be locked up and let normal people live. And I'm talking about normal people on the left and the right, because I'm not demonizing all Democrats. I'm not being what they are. I know there's good people on all sides that have sense that may not agree with me, and that's okay. We can disagree and still be friends. Dr. Nick and I have different values on things. Frank and I have different values on things. Alex, everybody. But we still all love each other. We ain't going to shoot each other. Well, maybe for fun with like a, super soaker full of, like piss or something. That'd be kind of fun to do to Casey. But, we'll see what happens.
I was definitely going to throw that at Casey all day. We're shooting super soakers of piss on Casey.
Yeah. Would that not be great? Hit him right in the nose. Hit him right in the nose so it goes all over his face.
It might actually make him smell better.
Probably.
That is actually true. Yeah.
I got a feeling that Casey smells like fermented cheese and stale balls. And yes, everybody knows exactly what that smells like because we've all had fermented cheese and stale stinky balls. So we all know what that smells like.
I think with Casey is one of those axe shower guys. Like, I don't need to shower today. And just does that thing. But
no, I'm gonna give Casey a little more credit. I bet you he's a wet wipe guy. I'll just wipe my tits out and under my tits and my pits and my tape.
Wipe out the new batch of fermented cheese and go on about his day.
Yeah, he's like, fresh enough.
Yeah. Tied up 34 all. Holy crap, this is gonna be a barn burner. Let's go Aggies.
What do you think all these people getting fired for some of the shit that they're saying about the assassination? I'm kind of on the fence about whether you fire people. I mean, what? There's certainly times where it might be warranted, but I think for the most part, there is a little bit of a First Amendment issue for me. But also, if you're for your job, you're not. whether you like it or not, you're a representative, especially when you're at work. And
Well,
there might be certain liabilities they don't want to bring in if you could hurt their sales, as the case be made. I don't know. Tex, what do you think? Is firing okay?
I've also thought about this pretty deeply as well. Free speech wise, I don't agree with it because I have the right to say whatever I want. So do you, as long as you're not inciting violence or whatever. But at the same time, are these not the same people that said, oh, they didn't get their COVID shot, they won't wear a mask, they need to be fired, they don't need to be around? Is that not also the same group? So maybe this is just a case of, getting their comeuppance and fate having a fun little turn. I don't feel bad for them at all. I think every one of them are vile and disgusting. You're praising a man being shot. I don't care if this was who's a popular liberal commentator. I don't know. Pick one, whatever.
I was going to say Justin Trudeau, Canadians, the leader of the
Okay, if Justin Trudeau had been shot, I would not jump on YouTube. Oh, look at him. He got shot. I'm not doing that.
I would have been.
That's disgusting.
I would have been disgusted.
That is vile behavior.
Yeah.
That's what
we do not live. It's awful.
That's what I was saying earlier. Is the difference between the progressives and other people on any other part of the spectrum is that when someone like Jimmy Carter passed away, Republicans were like, politics aside, thanks for serving the country, thanks for serving as president, thank you for your charity work, thank you for being a good person. Go to God, have a good afterlife.
Perfect example. Go look up the video of
Charlie Kirk gets killed. You have fucking people out there dancing, and you got TMZ motherfuckers clapping, and they can give me all the excuses they want for that bullshit. We all know what's happening there. You have all these people that are going out of their way to celebrate the death of this man who they have believed the lies about. So part of me is kind of like, I don't want you to be wronged, because there is that Republican part of me that wants to take the high ground. But like I said, if you're going to slash at my ankles with knives, because when I'm on the high ground and you're down there, it's like, you know what, I'll come down there with a knife and let's go. Let's have fun. I don't want to. I want there to be a better way.
We are at the point.
That's just the way it is.
We are at the point where taking the high road is not an option anymore. If they want to get in the dirt and play, let's get it on.
That's what I'm saying. Is it really to that point now? I mean, because
it is.
I want to find another path, but at the same time,
there is no other path. No, Frank. See, there's a problem. We have went out of our way. We have circled the globe 5 times trying to find a way to appease these people. And just like you said earlier, they don't want equality. They want control. They want power. You can't deal. We don't negotiate with terrorists. I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? I'm not sorry. These people need to be subjugated, put in their place, remind them they are the minority. They are not the popular group here, and they belong where they belong. I'm tired of taking the high road. I'm tired of being nice. Just like I said earlier, stop sugarcoat. Don't ever, if the thought ever comes in your head of, oh, well, I don't want to be called racist, so, and then you fill in the blank after that, you need to erase that from your freaking minds. Start telling the truth. Their words mean nothing, because guess what? They don't have any words, and they shoot at peaceful, godly men that do have words. They're disgusting, vile creatures. They don't get a say anymore. They show what they're capable of. They can go to hell.
I'm interested to see when more information comes out on this kid. I want to know more about him.
Oh, I've got questions. I've got many questions.
That's why I'm really glad they got him alive, because we're never going to know the Crooks kid. We're never going to know anything else about that.
I'm so glad. That always pisses me off when they and stop saying unalived. Just say dead. That is the most annoying. Yeah. Like, what is this new thing about fucking, like, again, all respect, but like Charlie Kirk got unalived. No, Charlie Kirk got killed.
They say that because it's just like you can't say COVID on a monetized YouTube deal, or they demonetize. That's why they say unalived. So it's here's communist.
Something else. Yeah. Here's something else that's weird. So I was given a website for certain movie viewing. I tried to bring up on my PlayStation. I tried. No, not at all. But I tried to bring up to use it on my PlayStation, right? And I typed in Google Doc, because it said you can bring up a website if you type it into like a chat with somebody. So like if I brought up Frank's chat on PlayStation, I typed in google.com, it would send it to you and I could click on it, open the browser so I could look around. It actually says it has been deleted for PlayStation safety.
Really?
Yeah, I was like what the fuck? I can't even there's no way to access on a PlayStation 5 the internet. On the 4 you can. They still have like the www. They always had that one there, but on the 5
I thought you had to have the internet to play a PS5.
But browser. You can't go on a browser.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, man, they're like blocking words on chats. And like it's not like a bad word. Yeah. It's like Google. Like Google.com. And I actually blanked it out. Yeah.
It's and I mean that's why I mean I don't want to open up a conversation about AI because we don't have the time to discuss that tonight. That would veer off of the point of this discussion, but technology wise, look at what once again bring up the UK. If you want to watch pornography over there, you have to present your identification and give all of your stuff over to even watch a porno film. Like this is the level that we've come to. AI will be our
TV.
Oh, AI is going to be our overlords. Don't get that twisted.
Yeah, it's AI can police everything, and don't say hateful words. Don't be mean to anybody. Don't be hateful. You must accept the guy that wants to, diddle himself in front of your children because that's his, kink, whatever it may be.
Hey, did you know the immigrant that beheaded the boss over the argument was over a fucking washing machine?
I'm not surprised.
I can't give false half news. So an illegal immigrant beheaded his boss in an argument over a washing machine. Jeez. This is in Texas.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Where did this happen in Texas? I haven't read this.
Was it Dallas?
Yeah, it says Dallas Fox Station, so I'm not saying.
Okay, well, it's my neck. I'm surprised I haven't heard that.
Dallas,
I mean, I'm not in Dallas, but that's the nearest big city to me. But
wow.
I've been so wrapped up in it. I've been so wrapped up in all this other Charlie Kirk stuff. I haven't heard anything else, to be honest with you. But that I'm gonna have to look into that. Once again, another reason: shut down your borders. Once again, I ever run for president, I swear on my children,
wow.
I am shutting down the borders. And I'm not doing like Trump did. We're going to get the illegals out, and ICE barely gets anybody. This nation needs to be purged. I'm talking on a deep biblical level. If you didn't come from here, you're gone. Our system is overflooded, overtaxed, overworked. We are dying over here. There will be no more money sent to Israel. They can float or sink themselves, but they can go kill Palestinians on their own. I don't want any part of it. This country needs to purge itself. We need to clean ourselves. We need to stop letting the tiny hats run this place, and we need to start being America again. I am so sick of all this crap. I wish it was a political year. I'd run, by God.
It seems like even the accidental stuff is done by foreign people. Like the whole thing with the trucker trying to make the U-turn thing a few weeks back. It's like because the birth of that whole problem is you can say that he shouldn't have had the CDL from California. That's all fine, but the difference is, again, it's culture. They don't. I believe they don't have the same driving rules, regulations, laws in India that we have here in the United States. I don't know that they are as stringent about some things. So to that guy, not really knowing our rules all that well, again, a whole other problem. To him, when you're driving around in India, everybody kind of drives like a fucking bat out of hell anyway. Crazy turns across 5 intersections, not really any traffic control. I mean, there's a bunch of people there. Traffic control, to try to control anything, would probably be undoable. So to him, making a U-turn across a 4 or 5 lane highway may not have been that big a deal. And because a driver who has been driving in America and is used to the way things are done in America doesn't expect it, which could have been any driver that would have been on the road in that moment, wasn't expecting that guy to make that sudden turn. Maybe he just kind of thought that everybody was going to see him turning and they were going to all stop the highway, not knowing that's not how it's done here in America. Just that difference in the way he sees things, what he knows as a guy who is driven in India. You bring all that, the way he does things over the American roads, and that's kind of the recipe for disaster. That again goes to the cultural aspect of it all. They're coming here thinking that they can operate the way that they operated back in their home country. And while it may not be wrong, it's not the way we operate here. It's the whole tip. It's the tipping thing again.
This comes back to the whole, you need to learn, like, this isn't even a culture thing. This is you need to learn, like, the rules of the road. That's why, I'm seeing a lot lately of people who don't speak or can read English losing their license, like their CDLs. And it's like, well, how did they get their license to begin with? Like, they should know how to read if they're going to be operating a commercial vehicle. I won't dox the people, but I saw a son with his mother getting their license. This is around the time my son was getting his learners. And I was like, and I'm watching the mom sitting there with the child. And I'm like, why is she sitting with him right now? And they're like, well, she's reading him the test. I'm like, what? He can't read? And she's like, no, he can't read. I think they said he couldn't read in the language he didn't speak English. And it's like,
damn it.
So how do you know she's not? Do you speak that language? Well, no. Well, how do you know she's not telling him the answers? Like, what are we doing here? And that's not racial. That's not.
Here's the problem.
That's that you need to know how to fucking read because you need to know to read a road sign.
Here's the problem. This whole, I have never liked this. America's a melting pot. No, it's not. It maybe used to have been when people came over here and said, I love America. I'm going to become an American and celebrate America. I'm leaving my old world behind. But so many people come here now. They don't want to speak no language. They don't want to learn the language of the land. They want to bring all of their stuff. They demand that you speak their language. That's why the whole press one for English has always pissed me off. But that is what it is. What we need to do in this world, America needs to. We are at a turning point here, which turn the phrase Charlie Kirk. God bless you. But this needs to be the catalyst moment of the rise of America again. And I know Trump, MAGA, yada, yada, whatever. America needs to get back to its roots, get back to basics, stand up for itself. Shut the freaking borders down, Trump. I'm sure Trump is watching. I voted for you 3 times, so you owe me now. Shut the borders down. Actually do something. Quit going to baseball games and going to yada, yada, whatever. Get to work. Do what we voted for you. Stop being Israel's little bitch and actually do something. Start protecting our citizens. If somebody even breathes on a Jew and he loses his mind, but Americans can get killed and you do nothing. Whether it's the truck driver that's just pulling U's wherever he wants or anything else. Start protecting Americans. It's absolutely ridiculous.
So we had the same issue here in Alberta there, Reverend. It was, again, a different group of people, but they were running the same thing. Licenses out to their fellow countrymen by nefarious methods. So did you guys hear about the Office Depot worker that got fired for not printing out Charlie Kirk vigil flyers? Did you see that?
I saw that. Yeah,
did you see the picture? Did you see the picture of the person?
I saw a few different pictures. Was it the white one or which one was it?
I shared it. I don't know. Frank, yeah. Like, could you more quintessential? Like, of course, big fat white woman with a fro.
Oh yeah.
Of course. The only thing she's lacking is the blue in her fucking hair.
Oh come on, that wasn't a freaking bull crap.
Yeah, the video I saw, it didn't blur her face. She had that smug look on her face, like she knew what she was doing, like she was putting it to this guy.
Yeah,
I saw that video.
So, and I said it earlier
call,
with what Tex had said when you asked like what's going to happen with should they get fired? I agree they shouldn't be, but again, I said it way in the beginning when I got on. You made your bed, lie in it. This is what you guys wanted when people were saying stuff about gays and transgender. Well, the shoe's on the other foot now. Sorry.
They set the standard. You know, it's all it is.
I think one of the things that's happening right now is a lot of the progressives, the people that are kind of running the show but not running the show, you know what I mean? Yeah. They saw what I had mentioned earlier about how even the states that went Democratic in the last election did have a big swing to the right. And they were like, we're nearing Reagan-Mondale territory again. We have to do something super drastic right now to try to get some of that momentum back, because Charlie Kirk was going after their strength. He was going after the kids. Because all the teachers that are teaching now are all people that came up when I was in school in the 70s, in the 80s and early 90s, when they were trying to, after the Mondale debacle, and they started getting the teachers unions to get a hold of kids young. Mm-hmm. All those kids are parents and teachers now, and administrators. So they are balls deep into these unions, and I think they see that and they're like, "Holy shit, they're going after the kids." We had the monopoly on the youth vote, because usually they say everybody's a Democrat when they're young, but they become Republican as they get older.
As they get
older,
because they get more wisdom. That's what they say. I don't know about that. I know some people that have been hardcore liberals for 70 years, so I don't know if that's entirely true, but.
Smoke too much dope at Woodstock, and that's one of those kind of people.
And what's happening is they're noticing that big swing. They're noticing at the turning point events that Charlie Kirk is showing up to at colleges are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And not only that, but when one of the people in their team does show up and try to challenge Charlie, he pretty much eats their lunch. Yep. That it seems to me like we need to panic right now because we're losing our grip on the kids. And how would you do that? I mean, taking another shot at Trump is not a good idea, especially now that he's sitting president. But how do you do that? You go after the guys that are talking directly to the kids. You go after the Charlie Kirks, the Ben Shapiros, the Tim Pools, all these guys that have that 18 to 30 demographic that they're so worried about. A lot of those people are switching to the right because they're listening to guys like Charlie Kirk in their college years. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we got to go right to where the problem is the way they see it. And that's why they go after Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
And what does the left think is going to happen? Just like Greg Gutfeld said, you just created 1,000 Charlie Kirks by taking down one.
That's why I said that's why I said I think that everybody has got this. I think this may have been the straw that breaks the camel's back. Silly as it sounds.
It is.
That now a lot of Republicans are going to be like, we can't be the nice guys anymore. I've seen so many Republicans that kind of share feelings like I've shared today. They're like, I don't know how I can turn the other cheek. It's like at some point you
I'm not turning the other cheek. I'm not.
And throw a punch and let these people know that you got to stand up to the bully. You got to stand up to the bully at some point. So, and maybe that's what I think is kind of happening is, look, the numbers of progressives is very, very small. The problem is they're very, very loud. They travel well. They will go to a different city every couple of days to protest. The same group of a couple hundred people that are stirring shit up. It's
almost like that's the agenda behind that, Frank. Maybe I've been talking about that for a long time. That's crazy.
Maybe not. Oh. But they all.
That's weird. I think I've said something like that before.
They always make sure there's cameras where they're going, so it looks like there's a lot of them, but there's really not. I mean, if I put a bullhorn to my mouth and start saying a bunch of stupid shit, is it really a lot of people saying a lot of stupid shit, or is it just me being loud? It's just one guy being loud. And this is a small group of people that are being really, really loud. That's the one downside of the internet is a handful of people can spread a lot of stupid shit really fast, really far. And Good.
Joe Rogan said that he has accounts that he follows on Twitter just because he's amazed, because as soon as he gets up, he'll look at their accounts and see they're arguing with people. And he'll go on his day and shit like that. And then before he goes to bed, he'll look again and the same guys are still fighting with other people. That's what they did all day.
Yeah.
That's that small niche group that has nothing better to do.
Yeah, they're so loud. They're so vocalized by, and then you get a couple of them in Congress. This Ilhan Omar, that fucking nutbag, and all these other squad people. They are Congress people that have been elected from districts of about 15 people. But their voices carry so much weight because they're always on a talk show. They're always in front of a camera. They're always in front of a microphone. So they must be important, right? No, Ilhan Omar got elected to Congress by 40,000 people in her district. That's 40,000 people in fucking wherever the hell she's from, Minnesota.
Somalia. I think she's Somalian, right?
That are pushing her opinions that they voted for down our throats. I have to hear her all the time. And yes, that's the only reason she's getting elected is because that district is like 65% Somali.
Well,
like all of them are coalescing to that one district.
And it's not even just in politics. Look at Hollywood. These people get, and I'm talking about the blue-haired pronoun morons. We demand representation. We want gay superheroes. We want girl versions of everything. Put a chick in it, make her lame and gay. These people get all over social media, make Star Wars gay. They ruin everything in Lucasfilm. Look at what happened to Marvel after Endgame. Kevin Feige came out and said, "Oh, we're going to do X, Y, and Z." They are pandering to these people because they're the loudest online. But guess what? They don't go actually out and support anything. They just want to, be represented, but they don't actually go to pay to do anything. It's the same thing in politics. They are a minority. They are these gay, LGBT, whatever they are not even 10% of this great nation. Yet the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? They never shut up. They're the loudest. They go out with their blue hair and their stupid nose rings. And they demand all of this nonsense. And guess what? They just, get whatever they want. No more people. We're putting you back in the mental asylums. The worst thing that Reagan ever did was shut down the mental asylums in this country and giving amnesty to all those illegals. We're opening them back up. I swear to God, we are. I'm pleased.
In all fairness, I think in Hollywood, it's actually the executives that are all really liberal. A lot of actors and a lot of other people in the industry have been kind of coming out a little more about being not quite liberal, not quite conservative, but maybe not so far lefty. There's been a lot of really famous people, a lot of athletes the last couple of days talking up Charlie Kirk. A lot.
When Pedro Pascal is the idea of masculinity in Hollywood today, there's a problem.
He's the idea of masculinity for the executives. But
who has the power, though, Frank? Those executives, therefore, they dictate the culture right now, unfortunately. And in their eyes, he's the idea of masculine. That's why everything sucks these days.
We have the power because we can choose not to see their movies. That's why I keep complaining. They keep making these fucking Fast and the Furious movies. The last 3 or 4 have been terrible, right. But they keep making them because we keep going to hate.
Well, and see, that's the thing.
You got to stop watching them.
I don't know if you do this or not, but I'll let one cat out of the bag for comedic purposes. But anytime there's a movie that we review on the channel that I don't like, I don't actually pay to see that movie. I'll go buy a ticket to something else just out of spite and go see the bad movie that I know is going to suck. So some movie that's not going to make a bunch of money gets my $15. And I get to sit through the Marvels too, or whatever nonsense we're talking about that I absolutely despise. So, I do that on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
But, oh, no, I do it on a regular, so many. I don't think I've given Disney money in years, and I'm so happy that I don't do that. So, it's all good.
I do it.
I give Disney my old money.
Oh, bullshit. Come on, ref.
I wasn't talking to me. He's talking to the ref.
I'm yelling at the referees in South Bend right now. They can totally hear me. I know. They're watching this right now.
I haven't checked the score in a minute. It's 40-34.
34-40, and the Aggies are they're within the 10 of winning this game here. So.
So you guys talk for a second. I can get something else to drink. I'll be right back.
Hell yeah. So anyway, how are you, Dr. Nick? I haven't got to speak to you in a while, my friend. How have you been doing?
I'm good. I'm gonna bring this up. Oh, I can't because Frank's gone. Cool. So were you here? I shared a picture. I know you're lurking in the shadows. My niece is going as Amanda from the first Saw.
Ooh, from Saw?
Ooh, big Saw. Sweet. Yeah, I got to see if I can find the pic.
I'll show you.
Sent it to me.
Let me.
Here, let me find.
Just part of my Saw. I can show you part of my Saw display that I have. For the ones that don't know, Saw is. I'm basically a follower of Jigsaw at this point.
Yeah, that's Frank's jam. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can probably. Yeah, I don't think I can share.
here is just a few of the Saw items that I have on display. I have the Saw popcorn bucket where the eyes light up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that came out with Saw X. Then we've got Jigsaw and in a little TV like from the movie.
Yeah.
We got John Kramer himself. We have. I made this one. I took a regular Saw figure and I kind of made it like Hoffman from the movie, kind of a little custom figure, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little it's like a Halloween costume figure of Billy the puppet.
Yeah.
And then the Billy Funko Pop. So yeah, big Saw fan.
That's awesome. That's sick.
Yeah,
she sent me. I can't share that, but she. Oh wait, that's myself. Where did she?
Now is she doing which version of Amanda is she doing?
First one.
Oh, wearing the reverse bear trap.
The bear trap.
Ooh, I gotta see this.
Oh, Frank's here.
It took me a minute to go figure out where Jennifer put the spice drum.
Oh.
Yeah, we're talking about Saul right now, so we might be here a while, Frank.
Oh, of course.
Well, I wanted to show.
Frank knows.
I want to show Tex, my niece. So this is the big. I think get you to share that for me, Frank. That's the beginning of her costume.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Did she make that?
Yeah, she made it. There's the.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, man. So, and her boyfriend, which I don't approve of, but a boyfriend's a boyfriend. He's going as Billy the puppet.
Oh, he's going as Billy?
Yeah.
That's cool as shit.
Oh, don't show the game. We'll get fucking
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was like, oh wait, I can't show the game there.
The hit us with
second. Oh my god, second and goal, 31 seconds left. We need a touchdown. Oh my god.
Okay, but boys, I'm gonna bounce because I do share this room with my kid. He just got home and probably wants to play some video games. So thank you for having me. Much love. We don't have a show Monday, so we'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and I'll try to tune in to the show. So later, guys.
Hell yeah.
Later, brother.
Adios, man.
Our friends from the Great White North.
Hell yeah.
We'll hang out at least long enough to get Texas' reaction to the end of the A&M Notre Dame game.
We got 34 seconds left in the game. Texas A&M 34 and the nasty Notre Dame at 40. They missed that. They missed going for a 2-point conversion on their last touchdown. Texas A&M is within. I'm not sure what yard line they're on, but we are second and goal when A&M has the ball. Do you believe in miracles, sir? I do, and yes, I'm pulling an Al Michaels right now, but I don't care. So it's all good. Those fighting Texas Aggies are taking the field in those gorgeous white uniforms. All those filthy drunk Irish out in the crowd probably beating their wives right now.
Probably.
Well, are they waving piss flags around with them yellow towels? Do they just wipe themselves with those filthy things? Is that what that is? Here we go. Second and goal. Come on, Marcel. Let's do this, man. Oh, over the head. He tried to float one in there. Third and goal. 27 seconds left. So did Ohio State win today, Frank? How'd y'all do?
49-9 we won or something like that.
Who'd y'all play? Some nobody school?
Miami of Ohio.
Oh yeah.
They're
Ohio has a Miami? Oh, okay.
This area, actually, it's only about hour and a half from where I live.
Because Texas has a Miami. Texas has a Miami. Like, that's how you say it, but it's spelled the exact same way. But that's a town. It's not a school. So
there's a town not too far from me called Russia.
Touchdown? No, not touchdown. Oh, you have a Russia? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's a real small farming community. We only like the company I work for only has one customer up there that I know of, and it's like the farthest customer that we have right now. And I always end up getting her, but she's a nice old lady. It's a really easy house to deal with. So I don't mind an hour out of my way to go do her house. It's not bad. 4th and goal. If A&M doesn't get this or a flag on the play, the game is over. Come on, football gods. Just the Cowboys. The Cowboys can lose all year. If A&M wins this game, that's fine. I won't care. Oh, we got a timeout on the field. Yeah, I know a lot of Ohio State fans around here. They're like, I don't care if we go 1-13 every year, as long as that one is Michigan.
Oh, I'm the same way. Just as long as Texas A&M beats the University of Texas, the Cowboys can lose every game. That's fine. I just want Aggies to beat the Longhorns. That's all I care about at this point. I know the Cowboys ain't going to win anything, so I stopped caring a long time ago. So it is what
Yeah,
it
who
is.
was it? Northern DC was asking me earlier. Frank, you think we're going to beat the Saints? I don't know. It's
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Niners? Y'all think y'all going to do anything this year?
I mean, I think we'll probably get into the playoffs if they can manage to get healthy and stay healthy. I mean, we can run. I mean, the division's not bad. I don't think the Seahawks are as good as some people think. Arizona's always going to have a few problems. LA's good again. But, we got an easy schedule as far as strength of schedule is concerned. But the problem is, it's like if the Niners start getting hurt, it just kind of falls apart. Purdy's out for at least one game. Kittle's out for at least 4. It's just, I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. All I know is, I think we can beat the Saints. But as far as, like I said, it's all going to come down to being healthy. And look who's here.
If they're
done talking about shit.
Well, we're about to go off of here, Casey, so I'll hop on with y'all if you want to, whatever, since I'm home anyways. But I was going to say, if there's one thing I can count on in my life, I know the Dallas Cowboys are going to suck. So I know that's one for sure constant in my world. So,
well,
it is what it is.
As you, a passionate football fan as I am, let me ask you this: what would you rather do, or what's worse, rather, watching your team go to the Super Bowl?
Touchdown! Oh my God! Touchdown! Oh my God! Aggie touchdown! Oh yeah, baby!
Oh shit!
Touchdown Aggies! Oh, thank you, football Jesus!
All about the extra point. All about the extra
thank
point.
you, football Jesus! Thank you, football Jesus! Holy freaking Lugia! Giggle Aggies! Hell yeah, baby! Oh yeah! 40-40, 13 seconds on the clock. We get this extra point and we just shut them down. Oh, I might need more heart medication, Frank. I'm not gonna lie to you right now.
But I say don't pop a clot on. Oh no, I guess it makes for a pretty good view.
If it does happen, at least go full screen so you get some good footage. That would be sweet. So, just to show, my future lineage, it'd be kind of fun. Here's how Grandpa Tex died.
He died online for everybody.
All right. Kick is good. 41-40, 13. Oh my God. These stupid. Oh, let's go. Oh, look how sad they are. I can feel their tears. It makes my soul happy. Thank you. Stupid Irish. Funny. Goodness gracious. But yeah, no, like I was saying, if there's one thing I can count on, it's the Dallas Cowboys are going to suck forever. And I'm just glad I got to see Super Bowls as a child because I'll never see another one. So, it is what it is.
Well, I was about to ask you, what do you think is worse? Seeing your team have a really terrible season, your football team, I'll use that as an example, seeing the Cowboys win 2 games all year and have a terrible year, or seeing them go to the Super Bowl and lose?
Oh, that's a hard question. Honestly, going to the Super Bowl and losing would be harder at this point because at least if they only won 2 games, that means they're eliminated a lot sooner. So it's quicker to rip that Band-Aid off. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think
I would rather my team get beat the hell out of it in the regular season and not get playoffs. Because everybody goes into the season with a little bit of hope, like, okay, everybody is 0-0, everybody's tied for first place. We've got an equal chance. And then by week 4, you're like, fuck, my team's not going to make it. But it's nice to. It's not because like sometimes it's better to tear the Band-Aid off a little, let the blow fall by degrees a little bit. So it's like my hope slowly fading over the course of a 17 or 18 week NFL season seems a little easier to tolerate, a little easier to stomach than watching get right to the cusp and then fall short, or even worse, get blown out.
I've had this very similar discussion with like AJ Ray, who friend of ours that comes on here. He's a hardcore Raider fan, and we've had the discussion many times about Is it worse to never see your team win a Super Bowl or to see them win one 30 years ago and be mediocre ever since? And of course, I'm on the side of I was a child watching my team be the team and then suck for eternity to the point where we're a laughing stock, the likes of the Cleveland Browns. And on his side, he's never seen the Raiders win a Super Bowl, so I can understand his viewpoint too. But it's like, two sides of a coin that it's just like, what's worse? Is it better to have loved and lost or never loved at all?
Yeah, I like you. I grew up in the 80s and I got to watch all those great Joe Montana, Jerry Rice teams, and even into the 90s with Steve Young. The Niners were pretty successful. So for all of my childhood into my early adulthood, the Niners were good. They weren't for a while. I feel kind of fortunate that the Niners never hit that prolonged 15-year drought like the Bengals did. It's like,
oh yeah.
I mean, some people have totally forgotten that Cincinnati even had a football team at one point because it just after 13, 14, 15 years of winning 4 or 5.
Aggies win. Get them. Oh, hell.
AJ,
AJ
just put it in here and said, well, it looks like the Aggies are going to win and beat the Little Leopards.
Oh,
yep.
I'm happy. This is a good night.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one, man.
Oh, they look so sad.
Yeah, I've had to go to work with a lot of this shit on my head lately too, which really sucks because I already hate it.
Dude, this week has, dude, it started with we can't, I don't think we ever talked about the whole Karen at the Phillies game ripping the baseball from the kid and whatever. It kind of started.
Isn't it funny how that being the biggest story in the world for 24 hours and then all of a sudden just gets erased?
Yeah. Well, it went from that then to the whole Ukraine girl get, stabbed to death and butchered like meat. And then Charlie Kirk happens. And, it's just one, I'll be real honest with you. I barely slept all week. I mean, I've been very tense and I'm still pissed off. I'll be real honest with you. But
Tim Pool talks about how if Civil War ever actually happens, it's not going to be something that gradually starts. It's going to be like we go to bed one night thinking we're going to get up in the morning and go to work like we always do, and we're going to get up and the water's going to be shut off, and electricity's going to be shut off, and everything's going to be in chaos, and it's going to happen almost instantaneously. It's not going to be one thing. It's going to be a lot of things in a lot of different areas, and that's what frightens me. It's like I remember a couple of years ago when this whole thing with the Ukraine was starting. I kind of had this one really weird, irrational moment of fear. I had gone to the grocery store to pick up a few things, and as I got out of the car, I just kind of randomly looked off into the distance, and I had just this brief moment where I kind of thought to myself, what if I saw a mushroom cloud in the distance right now?
Yeah.
It's that one moment of really irrational fear. And I thought about that for a long time. And as all this stuff was going on in Ukraine and eventually the Israel stuff, it's just I don't know if that's irrational to fear that kind of a thing anymore, because it does feel like we're closer and closer to humanity just finally pushing itself over the edge.
How many mass shootings is it going to take to make people realize I need to be prepared? I mean, you and I are both, preppers in our own ways. We both carry, we have supplies, we have whatever we're going to need for our families because we're smart enough to realize this stuff is not going to be here once it's needed. Once it finally does pop off, what am I going to do in this grocery store if some moron with a gun comes in? It's the little things that if you don't plan, people have house insurance, they have car insurance. Why aren't you prepared for the water and the lights to not work for a month? Why do you make fun of those people? I've never understood that mindset.
They have that. I guess the best term for it is a preppers community somewhere. There's actually.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm in one. I mean, everywhere has prepper communities. Yeah.
No, it's it's a ranch. You have to pay your dues for it or something like that.
Oh well. Oh, I'm not in that. I'm in a different deal. Okay.
This millionaire built. Let's see if I can. There was one in particular I saw a article about. Prepper. This one isn't about that specific place, but like that's like one place where like millionaires and rich people could pay I guess the word is subscription fee. I guess is the best way I can put it. And if all hell were to break loose, all you have to do is get you and or your family there, and you have like some way to get a password, pass key, code to get to the gate, whatever.
See,
and it's a fully functional like big ranch, kind of like the Yellowstone Ranch in the TV show. It's like that kind of space. It's all decked out with a bunch of like small houses and farm and meat processing and cows and pastures and all kinds of stuff to sustain itself essentially in perpetuity, like for a seriously long time. It can kind of just regenerate itself, and rich people are paying to have access to this place if shit goes sideways, so you can run over there real quick and be protected, kind of like the movie Homeland that's on Angel that I haven't watched yet.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh yeah, if I can find that article, I'll send it to you. I want to say it's in Colorado somewhere, but
here's the problem. I mean, places like that are great, but since they're advertised, I would never go there because that's the first place that I would go attack if something.
But that's the thing though, is one of the tricks about being here is the compound in Wyoming and Last of Us. You also have to do your turn like being a guard at the gate and shit like that. There is armed guards there. So if shit pops off and you are able to go in there, there are armed guards that like stand watch at the gate, and they have like watchtowers around the fences and shit. So yeah, they're ready for that too. It's not just like anybody.
Well, and see, that's the thing. That's the thing about preppers is I know so many preppers, I use the term loosely, who just buy the stuff, buy the gear, buy the fatigues to look cool, but they have no real skills. They don't even know CPR or how to stitch a wound or how do you treat if somebody gets shot in the chest. They have never had any medical training. I've had all those things. Technically, from the licenses and the classes that I've took, I could go be a police officer right now. I've been through all that training. Some I got through my own church, some I did on my own. But real skills is what it's going to take when this goes down. And like you, I firmly 1000% believe it's going to blow up. There is too much has happened. People aren't willing to speak anymore. And this is why discussion is so important and like I said, I was not a Charlie Kirk guy, but what that man represented was the best of us in a lot of ways. And, I mean, I think we're going to look back on this day, like Martin Luther King or whatever. I think it's going to be that kind of level. And I'm prepared for what's to come. I'm ready for it. But
it occurs to me, I go back to when Trump was talking to Kim Jong Fat Ass in North Korea. All the people on the left that were criticizing him for meeting with them and stuff like that. And I'm like, what do you want? Do you want to have a conversation with the guy? Now, maybe you don't agree on a lot of stuff or really anything,
right?
But isn't talking a better option than starting to throw missiles at one another? Because I was thinking for a long time, up until the last several years when shit like Ukraine and Israel popped off, that if anything was going to start World War III, the most likely area for it to be was going to be North Korea, because if they strike first, it's not a big deal. But they're going to try to do something to get us to strike. China comes in on their side. Russia's probably going to come in on their side. Next thing you know, World War III, a bunch of people throwing nuclear weapons at each other. I'm like, is that more preferable to you? Is that even that option for that to be a possibility? Is that better for you than these guys sitting down at a table and having a talk? I mean, I kind of want to go with the option that is way less likely to cost lives. I kind of want to go with the option that is way less likely to be a major world event that reshapes the world in a way that even World War II didn't do.
Well,
it's like, why do you want that over some guys sitting down and walking back and forth from the building having a talk?
Well, that's the problem is we're not allowed to speak to, safe words. You can't use that word anymore because it's racist or that's hateful. The vernacular changes every week. You can't keep up with it anymore. And there is such an entitlement to so many people. Oh, I'm offended. You can't do this, whatever. Everybody, comedians. We've had one good comedy movie come out this year, Naked Gun. Comedies used to come out every week and they were funny because they didn't care. Anybody could be made fun of. Nobody can speak anymore. That's the problem. And when just like we alluded to earlier, if that First Amendment goes away, that second one's coming next. I don't want that second one to happen because that means me or somebody I love might die. I would much rather sit down and discuss, come to a middle point of, okay, we may not like each other and we don't have to agree, but you're going to go live over there. I'm going to go live over here and we're just going to leave each other alone. But for a lot of people, that's not good enough. They demand everybody live in their virtue signals, live in their pretend world, whatever it is. Be whoever you want to be. But if you try and shove your thoughts and beliefs and make me live by your set of rules down my throat, good luck. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I still don't think you're looking through it.
Oh, here it is. Funeral for machete attack victim. I think this is what y'all were talking about earlier, that guy in Dallas, whatever, they're showing it on the news right now.
Okay. But yeah, on Twitter, Brooks Singman says exclusive Charlie Kirk assassin, this kid, I'm not going to name him, lived with his transgender partner, sources to say. The individual who is a male transitioning to a female is fully cooperating with the FBI. Sources tell me the FBI had texts and other communications between Robinson and this individual that helped FBI authorities solidify that he was indeed the shooter. So we're getting
I've got questions. I'm not sure that was the shooter. I think there's something deeper going on here. I don't want to get too Zaprudery, JFK, all conspiracy. I know we're not going to go into that tonight.
Here's what I think. I think he did it. I think he. From what it sounds like to me, this is very superficial with me having no inside information on anything, so I could be light years away from the truth on this one. I think that he, through whatever reasons, fetish maybe, started dating this person who was transitioning, and being a young, impressionable, still probably overly emotional and over hormonal 22-year-old, thought that this person that he was in love with, who was transitioning, as it said in that tweet right there, wanted to go do something for them. He kind of radicalized himself in a way that maybe doing something like this was going to be the thing that would prove his love. That makes sense to me with the superficial information that we have. Now, I don't think that this is as complicated as any kind of he was killed for an agenda. I do really think that, look, these super progressive people have been violent for a long time. Everything from burning buildings in Seattle to, throwing cement milkshakes at Andy Ngo and cutting his head up and threatening, Sarah Huckabee Sanders and stuff, following her around restaurants in DC and chasing her out. They've been violent for a long time. There was a natural escalation that was going to happen, and I think this was just the next step in that escalation.
So have you looked into what Kurt's security guys, the whole baseball hand signal thing's going on behind them?
My God, people are so dumb. Let me explain to you guys how this really works. People, now, look, I watch a lot of movies, but even I know how this shit works. Here's how it really works. Let's say, for example, that was the case. They were there to give some kind of a sign. For one, there wouldn't be two guys basically holding up fucking, I'm going to use these light sticks for my kids' Sweet 16. Hold up light sticks going.
There you go. They
wouldn't be that obvious. They wouldn't be that obvious. So here's what would happen. Let's say me and Tex want to arrange a situation like this. And Tex is like, okay, you go up there with the weapon. I'm going to come down here. Now, what's going to happen is he's going to look at me and say, the operation is a go unless I signal you. And let me tell you why.
Right.
Because they know that instinctively people are going to start to look for details, especially stuff that's being recorded, which is everything these days. Looking for ancillary details surrounding stuff, and that signal is going to be noticed. So the idea is if those guys were there to signal him, the signal was going to be, that's it. No movement.
Yeah.
Nothing that's going to draw attention. The job is on unless I signal you that it's not. So if you're standing down there and you're going to be the one that tells me, you're telling me if the job is off. That's what you're signaling me for. Unless you make that signal, I'm going to think this operation is a go, and I'm going to line up my shot and I'm going to take it. So if they were going to signal him for the shooter for anything, it would be that the whole thing was off and not to take the shot, because it's way less likely that anybody's going to notice that you were moving around your fucking arms or waving them off or doing whatever, because nothing significant happened. That moment's going to get memory hold like everything else that was going to happen that day anyway. So the idea that they were up here like giving, I heard one guy compare it to baseball signs. I'm like, come on, dude. They were talking about him to call it off, not to call it on. It was always on. So they were not signaling anybody.
The guy that people, it's the guy in the black shirt to Kirk's right, from where Kirk is sitting, his viewpoint on his right. The guy's like he's almost doing like the Macarena or some kind.
But that's the thing is, there was two guys in that shot when looking from Charlie Kirk's left, kind of, you can see kind of behind him before the shot pops off. They're both back there just flailing around. You would never have two guys within 5 feet of each other giving signals, because if one guy gives a missed signal, there could be conflicting signals. It would just make things a mess. There would be one guy for one, and for two, they would only signal if it was off, so that way nothing would happen and nobody would notice if he's just like tugging his ear, readjusting his hat real quick. That would be a very non-important motion. They wouldn't be like, they would hold up a sign that says, "Don't shoot Charlie Kirk." It wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be something so blatantly noticeable, because they know that they're on camera. They know that even back in the 80s when CCTV camera was kind of rare, it's like you still wouldn't make yourself that obvious because you still don't want to be witnessed. There's a million people looking in your direction. Why would you be like, "Don't shoot, don't shoot"? That just makes no sense to me.
What I have the most issue with is not the hand signals thing. I haven't looked into that enough to really have a viewpoint. I tell you what I do have a problem with, though. The shooter itself, apparently he had multiple changes of clothes, bing, bang, boom, different firearms he allegedly had, one that you could break down, one that didn't, the whole storing of the weapon, the jumping off the roof. That's where I have issues with it. That's what I'm looking more into now. And that's why I'm curious about going forward is there's inconsistencies there. Now it could be either bad reporting or more people, there's a lot of different things that could be. That to me has more credibility than somebody on Kirk's team, telling him to steal third base for him. I don't put as much stock into that as I do. I'm not sure we have credible info about the shooter, what he was wearing, and the what wins in the house. That's what I have.
You see, well, also a part of it is, though, they don't want to release it in pieces. They want to release it all at one time.
No, of course, I get that.
For one, because they make a better story, or they can control the narrative better. And yes, the Republicans try to put out and control narratives as well. But they all. But it's not anything we're not going to get answers for this next week. I mean, we still don't have the final report for the Butler attempt, as far as I know.
We're never going to get. They scrubbed that. We'll never.
Yeah, they did, but I think we've gotten the preliminary report. But what's going to be called the final report won't come out for a few years yet.
We'll get the Epstein list before that comes out. Neither of those things are happening.
Nah, whatever. I mean, I also don't like the fact that people are saying that Trump had this done to take attention away from the Epstein thing. The Epstein thing isn't going to go away, and Trump's not dumb enough to think it is. No matter what happens with the Epstein stuff at this point, it's always going to be that one fucking boondoggle on his presidency, the one really bad one. And I think he knows it by now. I also
that's going to be the albatross that hangs around his neck because it's on Pam Bondi's desk. Actually, it doesn't exist. This week it does. Next week it won't.
Tim Pool has a theory about that. Tim Pool has a theory about that. I think it's kind of interesting. He said maybe Trump saw the list. He sees who's on it. And he's like, I bet you if I went and told Republicans and Democrats, and
they're both on there.
He probably thought to himself, I'm going to go to these guys and say, hey, I want to put some bills through. You guys are going to vote for him, or there's going to be a name that leaks off this list. So Trump
they're black.
But he wants to use it to get.
I think Trump's on the list too. I'm sure he's on that list.
I don't think he's on the list.
I think he is.
I don't think he's on the list. I would be surprised to find out otherwise, but not like jaw
Kurt
dropping.
funeral set for next
God.
Sunday.
Yeah, I wouldn't be jaw dropping. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'd be like, that's weird. I wouldn't have saw that one coming. There's other names that I'm sure I would be like, yeah, of course you're all fucking crooked. But I don't know. I don't think this was something that Trump had done to take attention away from the Epstein stuff. He knows the Epstein stuff is never going to go away. I mean, it's the urgent story of Charlie Kirk and some of these other things is crowding out the important story of Epstein a little bit. But that story is not going to go away just because this thing happened and just because some other things happen. It's always going to be there. I mean, Watergate never stopped being a story. It's still a story. People,
Watergate is nothing.
It's the defining moment. I know, but I mean, but for its time, it is the defining thing of Nixon's entire presidency. Despite all and he did do good things. It's the one thing that kind of outshines all that. So. Right. I don't think this story is going to run a significant enough distraction for the Epstein stuff. And yes, he needs to release the fucking names. When I was watching that, I was listening to that press conference with the girls a week or two ago. I don't know if you caught it.
Yeah.
And they were just like, "We're gonna get these names together, and we're gonna talk about releasing all these names." And I'm like, "You're standing at a microphone. Just give me the names."
Right.
I don't know what else you need to do.
I still can't figure what was the point of that stunt of, oh, we've got the binders here of giving it to like the select, YouTube personalities that Trump like. I still don't understand that.
What most people think is that when that happened, Trump had intended to release all the Epstein files. And that something between that point and a few weeks ago, really, made him say, maybe we're not going to release the Epstein names after all. Again, maybe it was maybe Trump is on there, theoretically, and he doesn't want that to get out. Maybe somebody went to him and said, hey, remember what we did to Kennedy? You released that list, we're going to do it to you too. Maybe he did look at it and say, hey, I got all these names here. I'm going to hold this Epstein thing over their heads so they vote for the bills I want them to vote for. And don't give me any gas in the Senate. And I win all my bills by a lot of votes, and I look great in history. And all because I put this list of names in a drawer and just kind of forgot it was there. So there's a lot of reasons why they could not be out. I think they should be out. I want those names. But yeah, that got me the other night when I was a couple weeks ago. I was listening to this press conference with all the girls, and I was like, "You say you're gonna catalog all these names. It's like you're standing right here. Just say a name."
Yeah.
And because and I think some people would be like, oh, well, you can't just accuse somebody that's defamation or whatever the legal term is. It's like, yeah, but then you subpoena those records to prove that person was there, and all those records become public. So,
say that all of the people that
after you because they know that you're going to make those records public to prove your side of the story. So, yeah, say names.
Well, see, but here's the issue: is obviously none of us want to see the videos and the footage of the vile, disgusting acts that they allegedly have. Nobody wants to see the footage of it. But they can put it in text form about who did what. Take the victims' names out, of course, and put that out. It's not that hard. And allegedly, that's what they were going to do at one point in time. But that's never going to happen for whether Trump's blackmailing it or whatever happens if Q said, JFK Jr. is going to come back and yada yada. Whatever it may be. But there's just so many balloons up in the air politically that have just got this country in a mess. I don't think, like you put in our DM group the other day, like, I don't think there's any fix in this country. And I agree. I think our best days are behind us, and it's only going to get worse from here, unfortunately. And I think I'm trying not to black pill. I really am, but it's getting harder every day. I'll be honest with you.
I do have faith in the will of the American people. I do believe that the good people outnumber the bad people, and that when it comes down to it, the good people will win. It will be a fight, but we will win. I just don't know what that fight's going to look like. I don't know when it's going to start. I don't know if that's the route we should go. There's so many things that I just don't know. I know what I see. I know what I feel. I know what I can quantify, but I can't. I just wish I could see. Give me a year in the future, just so I know that the world hasn't blown up in a year. I would take that. Even if you tell me things don't change much, I would take that just to know that it hasn't descended into chaos. But I mean, I have no answers right now, and it's a scary.
I mean, we both have kids. I mean, we both have our lineages on the line. I mean, it's not like we're, it stops with us. And I'm only 38, and if my life were to be, I mean, I almost lost my life last year. That change. I mean, you and I talk regularly. You know how that affected me, and that put a lot into perspective for me. And I don't fear death. I faced it. I know I'm going to face it again, but I fear for what my future lineage looks like, and that's what worries me more than anything.
Yeah, I was telling my youngest son the other day, we were talking about some political stuff, because he tries to get into it a little bit, and I try to explain it as good as I can while I have his attention, but he's 18. He wants to go hang out with his friends and chase tail. I respect that.
Of course, yeah.
But
he's 18, and he should enjoy his life. Yeah, he should.
Yeah, I was, we were talking, this is before the Charlie Kirk thing, we were talking about politics and all that. And it's like, at the end of the day, there's 7 days in a week. You hope that 4 of them you do the right thing, because that means you're better than 50%. There's going to be days where you don't. That's human. There's going to be days where you're going to try really, really hard to do the right thing. It's not going to work out. There are going to be days where you barely get out of bed. You did the right thing. It's not going to make any sense. Just try to do the right thing. Try to be the good person. That's eventually what saves the world, is people wanting to be positive influences. If not the entire world, at least the people around you, the people in your orbit. You know what I mean? Because that's
like after I had my ordeal. Like, I mean, I'm not a super big religious guy, but I did go talk to a former pastor of mine, and he kind of knows where I'm at on things. And I'm no do-gooder. I'm very much on the opposite side. But I said, life is so fleeting as it is. This world sucks. I almost lost what I thought I had. And he gave me some of the simple advice I've ever heard. But it's just do one good thing a day. Hold a door open for somebody. Be nice to somebody. Just don't be an asshole. I mean, it's really not that hard.
It's like be normal. Be a normal.
Just be normal. Even if you don't agree,
be a normal one.
Right. Even if you don't agree with somebody, whoever they may be, the 10 seconds that you're interacting with them in their life, you don't know how that's going to affect them down the road. A simple hi, how are you, howdy, or hold the door open for whatever it is. That can change everything. It's kind of like that scene in Joker where he's going crazy, he's doing all those things, and Joker lets the little midget guy live because he was the only one that was ever nice to him. Now, of course, that's an extreme example from the film, but the example still fits. You know what I mean? Just do something good.
There's that scene in Billy Madison where he calls Steve Buscemi's character and says, "Hey, I'm sorry I was a dick to you when we were in school," and he crosses his name off the list of people I want to kill. It may not be so theatrical and deep, but I mean, you will be better off in the long run.
Right.
It's like, like I said, maybe I've mellowed as I've gotten older. I don't know. Maybe have I gone soft? Perhaps, maybe in some ways, but the desire to hurt people and the willingness to hurt people are different. I don't have the desire to hurt anybody.
Well, see,
do I have the willingness? Well, yeah. I mean, you got to protect my kids, my girl, my mom. Yeah. You're going to get hurt if I got to choose between you or that you were one of them.
See, that was the funny thing after I had my heart. I wondered how was it going to change? It did not mellow me out. It did the opposite, because I realized how fleeting and how short life can be. If anything, it made me stronger in my beliefs about what I do believe. It made me stand on them even harder. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just the effect that I had or that it had on me. I don't know. But it did not mellow me out like it does so many. And I was kind of surprised at that, I'll be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with the world anymore.
There's nothing we can do, literally, and that's the whole point. Is I only worry about what I can control. I make sure to my very best ability that my people and myself are as safe and as prepared as we can be. And come what may, you know, bring it on.
Yeah, I don't know. Just hold your loved ones close, man. It's like I, as all this shit was popping, because
funny enough, I'm sure you've heard the song, but that Tim McGraw song, "Live Like You're Dying," you know, that old country song, whatever. Yeah. I've never listened to that song more in my life since I almost kicked the bucket myself. I tell you what.
Yeah,
I never understood it till then, but now I do.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was telling my son the other day, because he likes music the way that me and Jeremy like music, and I was just like, boy, one of these days you're gonna think one of your favorite songs is just your favorite song, but then you're gonna be 45 listening to it, and you're like, oh damn, I understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute, the songs hit different when you realize what they're singing about. Yeah. But I don't know what the hell's going on, man. Just hold your loved ones close. I got home the other day, and this was an hour or so after everything had happened with Charlie Kirk, and I wasn't really listening to the radio or anything. I was just listening to.
I went and hugged my kids whenever I saw that Charlie Kirk thing.
Yeah, and so I came in, and as I was sitting down, I'd been in the house for all of 5 minutes. My son, who's in Arizona right now, texts me and says, "You hear somebody shot Charlie Kirk?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Charlie Kirk? Really? Why?" It's like, I mean, he's important, but is the assassination important? And at first, I kind of thought to myself, somebody had snuck in a gun and taken a shot because they were that kind of asshole. This was a full-blown political assassination. But I started to look it up, and I was like, at that point, Tim Pool's already live and talking about it because he's tight with Charlie Kirk. And all the news outlets were dropping it. I was like, holy shit. So I got wrapped up in that. I was like, damn, it's at the end of it got to the point at the end of the night where it's like I kind of got up just to walk around, and my son was walking out of his bedroom. I just kind of put my arm around him and gave him a little half hug, patted his shoulder, and he kind of looked at me funny, and I was just like, go with it, dude. Just
let it happen. Just let it happen. Just take it in.
And it gives me a different perspective on, like, when I was young, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So when some kind of crazy shit was happening in my life, like how my parents were trying to like deal with it, but not outwardly show the stress and the fear that sometimes accompanies these big events. I think about how my parents were probably worried when we were going through the Loma Prieta quake, and our house was fucked up. And we didn't know what was going on for a couple days after that. That fear that they were feeling, I didn't notice it because I was just like, I just go to the park and hang out. It's no big deal. But they had severe concerns that I didn't think about until I became an adult. I was like, so I wish I could have understood those things differently now. But
I mean, I'm a father of teenagers, and I never looked at things the way that I do until I was on the other side of it, and that really changes. How maybe that's stupid. Like, once you see your kids doing the stupid things that you used to do, like, oh, wait a minute, this ain't this is a different story here.
It's hard. Then you think to yourself, should I let them make some of those smaller mistakes? Should I let them burn themselves on the stove a little bit so that they know, so they build up that knowledge? It's like, I don't want a helicopter parent, but at the same time, I don't want you to put yourself in some of the same stupid positions that I put myself in.
You can't help.
It's like,
you can't help.
My youngest son the other day was like, tell me some stories when you were a kid. I was like, no.
For the sake of my liberty, I'm not discussing those events.
I am a perfect example of why is a good thing that our generation did not have cell phone cameras.
Oh, so many things I did. They'd had me under the jail. Like,
so much trouble I could have gotten into with that. It would not have been.
Dude, it's a miracle I'm alive at this point.
And that's just the moderate shit that I did wrong. To say nothing about the really big.
Oh yeah, like. But see, I'm saving all of those stories till I'm like 95 and on my deathbed. That's when I'll start telling people those stories. That's when I'm saving those for. So it'll be all good. So
yeah, mine are going to the grave with me. They need to die. Because it's like I said, I don't want to. It's like they're stories, and it's like I don't really mind telling, but it's like I don't want to glorify some of the dumb shit that I did because I don't want my kid to be like, oh, well, Dad thought that was cool when he was 12 and stuff.
Right.
Maybe I should go do it. And I don't want that to be what they take from it because they're still young. Sometimes they still get things the wrong way. They don't quite get that I'm telling them things not to do instead of things to do. But whatever. It's been
what?
been a fun night, man. Yeah, we got some stuff out. We got some stuff out today. I'm sure that I'm sure there's gonna be more to say. There's certainly gonna be more to learn.
Oh, we're not done with this situation at all. It's nowhere near done.
This is gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a while. I mean,
hell, it's like, it's not like we're still talking about JFK and 9/11 or anything, but it is what it is.
Well, that's what's happening right now. But there is some merch up. Go check out the merch. Got the I Love Toxic Waste shirt. Those are a couple of shirts. Though there's the logo shirt, and then of course with the ones with those tickets. I got to work on those. I really like those. And I still have to figure out a good one for Casey. But yes, I designed, and I'm hoping it gets reviewed and killed by progressivism and a picture of Charlie Kirk. I hope they allow that to happen because I think that's going to be I'm going to buy one of those.
You know what? It's the truth, man. Charlie Kirk. I haven't got to publicly speak on this yet, but it's. I wasn't your biggest fan, sir, but thank you for what you did. And unfortunately, I didn't respect you enough in your life, and my apologies to that. But, your sacrifice will never be forgotten. So, God rest man.
Yeah, let's hope cooler heads prevail before the Civil War becomes the big shit.
If not, make sure you have your lines 1, 2, and 3 gear ready because you're going to need all 3. So, just be prepared. What's that old saying? Praise the Lord, but pass the ammunition. Isn't it one of those kind of things?
Damn right.
All right, brother. Well, I'm gonna hop off of here and I'm gonna go talk to Casey so he can't say I'm not giving him enough love.
Oh, whatever. Well, you guys go watch Casey as well. We're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks to everybody who came in and hung out tonight. I very much appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll be back Tuesday with Tango and Cash. I promise we're gonna review that movie. All the pictures. I gotta put the pictures back in, but I can put it back up. That's gonna be a fun review. That's a fun movie. We're gonna be. You can blame
our works for not letting us review that for you. Thank you.
This grown-up shit, man. It's overrated. Don't do it. If you're out there, stop at like 22, 23. That's solid. You're still young.
Give me to like a solid 26. A 26 was good. So if I can go back to that, I'll stay at 26.
Yeah, just none of this 50+ bullshit because getting old sucks. But thanks to all of you for coming out. Very much appreciate it. We'll be back here on Tuesday.
There we go.
There'll be more. Time allows. I think they're important discussions to have. But come see us. Casey already logged off, Frederico says. So looks like it's not going to be a bit. But
either way,
we will see you guys on Tuesday. Until next time. Adios.
Giga Maggies. We won, baby.
Well, this guarantees a Dallas loss.
That's fine.
We may both be having
I don't care.
Football days.
No, I made my deal with football Jesus. I have to accept my results now. It's fine. No worries.
Bye, everybody.